everyone, it's your man Spin Nation with my man Riders Up Tim. How's everybody doing? We are back after a eventful week in Kentucky. I think that is the best way certainly to say it there. Tim, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, trying to keep my head above water, Sean, both
Yeah.
from a wagering perspective and literally with the Kentucky River up the way it is up here in the area around my house. I just shared a couple of pictures with Sean and letting him see where it's at as far as my neighborhood goes and the houses around here.
Unbelievable.
It's just absolutely nuts where the river is, but it's on its way down. And by Sunday, hopefully it'll be back within its banks, but it leaves a mess behind, all kinds of debris and inches of mud. So lots of cleanup to be done still. And some people, I just got to clean up some roads and some things that aren't important. And some people have to clean up their entire houses and rebuild.
Yeah. And the Bluegrass was moved to Tuesday. Unfortunately, neither Tim nor I was able to attend it, but we still had an awesome weekend and enjoyed some great racing in Keeneland. And my thoughts and prayers to everybody in the Kentucky area, the whole state right now, just people down in Bowling Green and Frankfort and just everybody around the whole area, Tim's area too, up there in Louisville. Everybody, my thoughts and prayers if you're watching for sure.
Yeah, the rain has been absolutely crazy, and Sean and I did show up for opening day, which ended up being on Sunday. So we went to opening day on Sunday. We got more rain and cold all day Sunday, and it's just amazing. I mean, we had probably, at least for most places in the state, top 10 flooding event ever, for some places top 5 ever. And the amount of rain we got over the last week was crazy. And by Monday afternoon, we had a fast track at Keeneland. That is just an amazing, incredible track. The draining system there is world class. Hats off to those folks. We did have a great day on Monday and got to see some good races on Monday. But today, Sean, it's Evangeline Downs.
It's Evangeline time in our it's Tool time with Rob Tool down there in Louisiana, and we're gonna be doing the races. We got let's see what we got here. We got 8 minutes to go until race 1 here. Tim, as always, Tim will start us off tonight. The horses are in the paddock as we speak. And I will read the conditions, my friend, for the first race. Thank you to everybody who's joined us here. Bobby, I see he's already got his picks. Welcome, Bobby. Good luck to you, my friend. So let me read the conditions here. The first race, Evangeline Downs, 7 furlongs, maiden 5,000, purse 10,000. For maidens, 3-year-olds and up. And we have just one scratch, which is the 2, which means that we have a full field of 11, Tim, which is a nice way, but challenging way to start off the card.
I think the card looks pretty interesting. I handicapped it this afternoon, went through the races and everything. I've got a few horses that I think might be a price, a couple of others that kind of like some favorites in here, but let's see how it goes tonight. I'm looking automatically right off the bat, and in the very first race here, you've got a 20-1 morning line who is currently your 3-1 favorite in the number 6, La Boucane.
La Boucane, exactly. Taking La Monet, as they like to say. Exactly, and let's see here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, taking and it's fast and firm tonight, so at least we don't have any major changes here, which is great. As the horses begin to start getting up to go out into the track. Yeah, La Boucane taking some major money. The Invader from Fairgrounds making his first debut at Evangeline Downs for Shane Wilson and Jay Guerrero. You want me to go first, my friend?
Sure. Let me know what you think here. I've got one I kind of like a little bit.
Yeah. So when I look into these type of fields, we got some horses that are over 24, over 25, different over 11, over, and I when I look at these maidens, I try to kind of find one that hasn't run as many times, And I got to the one since you asked from Chadwick, Moten, and Vargas. I know Vargas a little off to a little bit of a slow start in this meet, but what I liked about this horse is that he had a nice 6 out of 51 at Evangeline Downs. This horse is only run at fairgrounds, 23 and 24, and he had one race at fairgrounds, and it wasn't great, but it was maiden 12.5 up there, and I gotta think that the 12.5s up there are a lot better than the 5,000s down here. So when you look at this field, he's only run 7 times. He does have a second. And at 7 furlongs, someone thought this horse he was 5-1 at Churchill Downs in his debut. So someone thought this horse had talent. So I thought a price, maybe the one could be an interesting across the board wager. My second pick in this race, I looked at La Boucaine, and obviously he does figure in same, very much like the one, that he's coming down to a level. I just didn't like him. The second pick was the 9 Maxi Boots. Only has 2 starts, and they haven't been great, but Oakland at 30,000 got dropped down to 10 at Delta Downs. Maybe didn't like that track, but now comes over to Evangeline for 5. Maybe this horse can meet a group that just doesn't like to win, and he could be very solid. And the third pick here was the 8. What did we do? Vincente Del said Mike Witten's got to be thrilled his man is here today. He's off to a roaring start up there. This horse is finally has been at this level, but Del Cid got a second with him and has had some good success with him. So I thought he was for third in a wide open race. I was 1, 9, 8. And then I actually did like the 6 for fourth, and obviously they're betting him.
All right, Sean, we have a full field of 12 horses. You talked about 11 of them and didn't even talk about my top pick. So we are off to a roaring start here at Evangeline Downs. So look, Sean, you know me. I'm not only from Kentucky, but I'm from Lexington. Yeah. And if you're from Lexington, how do you not like a horse called the Wildcats Meow?
Exactly. See?
But number 10 here, I really do like this horse. And looking at the last races across the board, this horse has the last race Beyer speed figure, which is an angle I like quite a bit. And that was a decent race on a speed favoring track. And if you look at it, going 6.5 furlongs and still was only beaten, was just off and wasn't able to close up on the horse up front, but was beaten just a length in that race. Now we're going to stretch out an extra half furlong. I think getting Rodriguez aboard is a step up from the apprentice from last time out. But this horse has put together, pretty much consistent speed figures right around this level. And those speed figures, Sean, are better than anything else in this field for the most part. And the one horse who does have at least one race that's quite a bit above that is the one. And you talked about that one as your top pick. I do like the one and have that as my second pick. So since you asked, for all the reasons you mentioned, you threw in at the last second there, Vicente Del Cid. That was my third pick here with the 8. What did we do? This is one that you would think Del Cid, he normally takes money, and sure. Right now off of a 3-1 morning line, he's only 9-2, so not too bad. But I like that one a little bit. And just to throw one more in there, I don't think you talked about the 3, My Uncle Billy.
No, yeah.
This is another one that I like to potentially finish underneath at a price. It ran at Evangeline last year and then has been at Delta, now gets back to Evangeline. I do like that they come back and get a workout over the track. And that 3 furlong workout was really fast, a bullet work. 35 and 4, 3 furlongs. So this one has the potential for some speed. It doesn't look like this horse uses that speed up front. If you look at the profile, he's normally off the pace. So I expect this one to come running late, showing that bullet work and how fast that is.
Yeah.
This is one that I think can get underneath at a price. And right now it looks like we are getting about 7-1. So I like that quite a bit. We've only got about a minute, Sean. So I'm going to try to put something together here real quickly and see what we can.
Sure. Absolutely. They're heading to the gate, and while he's putting that together, let me say hello to everybody. We got Mikey Witten in the house. Bobby D's in the house. Got a 10-8-4-1-3 exacta box 6-9-10 win on the 3. Let's see. Buffalo Trace still underwater. Wow. Uncle Sully, oh man, he wanted to say hi to us, but his daughter had to get back to Virginia. So as long as you got back safe, that's all that counts, my man. Kyle Graves, $2 exacta key 6 with the 1-3-5-9-11. Yeah, let's get those winners, buddy. Great to have you as always. Bob Jackson, hello, sir. Welcome back, my good man. Mikey Witten's got $1 to place the show on the 1-8-10, $6. Formula's in the house. What's up, my man?
All right, Sean. All right, we're just going to throw together a little $1 exacta key box here for the first race. We're going to key the 10. I like that 10 quite a bit. I don't think he's getting the play, and at 5-1, I think he's a really good price. So we're gonna key box it though, up and down with the 1-3-6-8.
Love it. Okay,
$1 cost us 8.
I like it.
Cost us 8 to start off.
I like it. Todd, how are you, my good man? Good luck with the. He likes the 10 also. Good luck. Hope you're doing up well up there in the. Got awful cold up there, I think, where Todd was. They're still getting snow. Todd, are you still getting snow up there? It's been quite the cold streak. We were actually not too bad today. Horrible, yes. Yeah, Todd's still getting snow in April. Good Lord. Bob's top picks are 1, 3, and 11. Marv Beatty in the house. Hey, buddy. Marv's got a 4 with a 6, 10, 11 try key box. Good luck, my man. The field making their way to the starting gate.
Hey, Sheldon, we're at Evangeline Downs.
Yep. Hey, Sheldon. Thanks for joining us.
We're going to hear a little Ils sont partis.
Yes, exactly. Ils sont partis. From our man, Rob Toole. Horses making their way to the gate. There's a big shoot for 7 furlongs down in Evangeline. So it's a long way back to the starting gate.
Nope, Turfway is done for the season. Kentucky Circuit has moved to Keeneland.
Yes, sir.
Last weekend. Keeneland will run right up until the week before the Derby, and then we will move over to Churchill Downs and the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby.
Yep, exactly.
And the field is shaping up. We'll have to talk about that something tonight.
Yes, sir.
Shaping up, and we got a couple of invaders. Got those invaders on the ground, Sean. At least one of them is already there, and I think the other one is en route. They have both accepted their invite. So going to be interesting to talk about those two.
Yeah. We got the one jockey climbing back aboard his horse.
All right. All right. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah, good luck to everyone. Thank you again for
Load it
joining
up.
us.
We got the first of 8 here tonight.
Kyle's sipping on some Slain Irish whiskey tonight. Good lad. Good lad. Vince Watson's in the house. What's up, my friend?
What is up?
Todd's got a show on the 4. There you go.
Good luck, Todd. Todd doesn't have much money. Naira stole all his money and won't give it back.
I know, huh? Horse is beginning to get into the gate here. We got a tough crew here.
Couple of them fighting the gate crew.
Yeah, exactly. And once again,
we are fast and firm at Evangeline tonight.
Yep. 10 over the 1, 3, 6, 8. That's what I bet is.
Or under.
Yeah.
We're all loaded.
I think we've got the group.
Here comes that infamous tool time call to start the race.
Il Safati.
All right. From the middle of the track, looks like the 6 horse. Going to show a little early speed on the outside, the 9 as well, just behind that one, the 10. The 7 currently sitting in 4th, outside that, the 8th. Couple more back to the 12 down on the rail. We've got the 1 and 2, the 5 behind that one. Up front, the quarter, a nice 23 flat. That 6 horse does have the early lead. 9 Maxi Boots sitting outside that one. It's another 3 back to the 10 Wildcats Meow, starting to close that distance just a little bit. Up on the outside, here comes the 8 starting to make a move as well. Those two start to move as a pair as we round the stretch. 46 and 4. They went to the half, so moving fairly quickly up front. Now the 9 Maxi Boots does head out to the lead. The 6 is starting to fade a little bit. Here come the 10 and the 8 as we hit the top of the stretch, starting to make their move. Still work to be done here in the stretch, though. And Sean, I've lost all my video, so if you want,
it's the 9 still up ahead. The 10 trying to stay in the middle. It's the 8 on the outside, 10 in the middle, 1 on the rail. Down the stretch they come. The 9, 8, 10.
9, 8, 10.
Yep. 9,
Did
8,
not
10.
have the 9.
Yeah. Did not have the 9. Maxi Boots. Yeah, that's the horse. Yeah.
Jensen Mellicon.
Yeah, and again, when I had him as my second pick, he only had 2 starts. You know, when you have a group that's like 20-something starts, sometimes you go for the horses that don't have the most starts. You know, and that proved to be for there. Jansen Mellicon. The 8, what did we do, Vincent? So we were all around it.
Yeah, I mean, 10 and 8 were my couple of my top horses, but
yeah,
they finished underneath. Did not have the 9.
No, exactly. The odds kind of went strange there. I noticed the 10 went off at 10 to 1, the 9 went off at 7 to 1, and the 8 went off at 8 to 1, and the 1 went all the way down to 5 to 2.
The one thing I will say is I never liked the 6. The 6 at 8 to 5 made no sense.
Yeah, me either. Yep. No,
did not have the 6 anywhere around, and
no,
that
exactly.
Faded and was never apart.
Yeah, exactly. I like that, Sully. Yep. On the Naira Bets keeps the ROI track. Yep. Todd says, don't do it. Twin Spires only. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get we'll definitely get into East Avenue there, Mike.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, there you go. So the 10, yeah, good job, Todd. Bet the 10 across. 10-1. I didn't expect you to get 10-1, that's for
No,
sure.
I mean, that was my top pick. I liked him a lot and didn't expect that price.
No. If we can have an inquiry on a couple of horses and then 7-1 over 8-1 over 10-1, and the boy did the one get hammered there, huh?
Really did.
That was my top pick there, but I would like them at 9-1. I would not like them at 5-2. But
Mike, did we think what was bad? Oh, the East Avenue run? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get to this race first, and then we'll talk about it. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into it right after this race is fun.
Yeah.
Official.
Official. This is going to pay really well with the. Wow. 1680, 940, and 660 across. Wow. 720, 520, and then 440 to show in the 10. Wow. And what did that, the exact, $1, 60, the 50-cent try, 9810, 159.10, and the 10-cent super, 9810, 223.54. To anyone who had that out there, congratulations. Todd says, looks like finger lace race for 5K.
I don't know about that, but
that was still pretty good. Yeah, it was an exciting finish right down to the wire. The 9, the best horse, lost $8. Next, see, love Todd's ad. Turn the page. Okay, and of course we can't. We have how many minutes? We have a good amount of time here. We have 17 minutes to go. So, all right, Tim, what did we think of the Bluegrass Stakes?
I gotta stop and pause for a second. Here's the thing, Sean, and I was talking about this with our group, and look, East Avenue is a horse early in the Derby season. Everybody knows I love this horse. I love this horse going into the juvenile last year, and despite that result, I loved East Avenue first time back, and that horse ran off the track. Needed a race for sure. Probably didn't like the track, but we know that he loves Keeneland, and he kind of showed that a little bit on Tuesday with the Bluegrass and getting out front. But what didn't make sense to me is that they got a clear lead and just absolutely just kept pushing the horse a little bit too much. I think in the first quarter, was way too fast, and then they backed up a little bit in the second quarter. But that first quarter, getting out to that lead, and I don't know why you got to push a horse out to a 3-length lead early on when you've got a nice easy lead and you've got position. So let him relax, and they didn't do that. So I didn't really like the race, but it did show that East Avenue is back a little bit, I think. And I thought it was a great run by Burnham. And Burnham clearly took advantage of the pace up front. But, we say pace in early fractions, but the last part of that race was just slow, extremely slow. and the last 3 furlongs went like 39 and change, and that's just like way too slow for a Derby prep race. So while I love the fact that Burnham Square, who's a horse that I liked all along in the preps, won the race and did well, and Ian Wilkes Barn, and love every bit of all that, and love that East Avenue ran a good race again and came back. I'm just not sure what that race says for the Kentucky Derby. If anything, I'll tell you this. Here's what I think. I think what it tells me is that the connections of East Avenue have a horse who likes to be out on the lead. This is a need the lead type.
Yeah.
He is going to get out and he's going to send.
Yep.
And, you know, who owns this horse, Sean?
Godolphin.
Okay. Who owns Sovereignty, Sean?
Godolphin.
They've got their rabbit.
Yep, they've got their rabbit. Yep.
And you know, that's the way I look at it. And you know, I love East Avenue and would love to think that this horse can go 1.25 miles on the front end, but after that Bluegrass, I just don't think he can at this point. Hopefully he continues to mature and becomes the horse that I thought he was going to be, but he's not that right now. So I really think that looking at this horse, that he's going to go out and set solid fractions and make sure that nobody is going to get up front. No Citizen Bull, no Rodriguez. Nobody's going to get an easy trip up front. And I just think that if you look at it, that this really makes an even better case for Sovereignty being your Kentucky Derby winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And Formula, thank you. Yeah, you just dropped the tip sheet in our group chat. Thank you, Formula. Absolutely.
Awesome. We'll pull that up.
So yeah, this is my take on the race. I'm with you. I got to spend a great deal of time this weekend with Brendan Walsh, which was real. He's a great friend, and that was a real treat. As he said to me, he said, "Sean, I'll tell you what." He's in his Irish. He said, "I'll tell you one thing." He said, "Either I'm going to be up on the screen by 8 lengths, or I'm going to be 21 lengths behind. It's going to be one of the two." And thank God it was the first, not the second. But and he did run a good race. It'll be interesting from as the decisions go by. I do think he'll be the rabbit. The Pat Day Mile would be interesting. I don't think there would be a lot of horses that would have a good chance of staying with him at a mile. You know what I'm saying? He's that fast, but I think he earned enough respect to get a chance at the Derby. And I am like the one thing I will say that Woody Stevens used to always tell us: great horses overcome bad things, right? And the thing I really like about Burnham Square in that race, as Tim said, he was dead last, right? The last quarter was 39 and something. You're not on that track all weekend. Nobody was closing, but yet he found a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So even though the fractions are slow, the fact that he found the gear late to still catch Eastern Avenue, you know what I'm saying, speaks, I think, good volumes going forward for the Derby. Great horses find ways to win races. You know, and then if he can do that in the Derby if you have a meltdown up front, he'll be off. If he finds that late gear that he has, he'll be awfully tough down the lane.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Sean. And I'm just talking about the race overall and how it kind of came home. But you and I both have been on Burnham Square for quite some time.
It was so slow.
It's a horse that I really like. And yeah, the fractions were not super fast, which, you know, you got to wonder if that even says a little bit more about Burnham Square. But I absolutely love the closers in here. I think Sovereignty is probably going to set up best for him. But you know, I'll just throw this out there, and we've got a lot of content to put out and talk more Derby between now and that first Saturday in May. But here's a horse. Don't forget this horse. I think that with the added pace of East Avenue being back to East Avenue and a little bit of speed up front, yes, you've got your closers that we talk about. Yes, you've got you've got a horse that's probably going to sit just off the pace in journalism, but don't forget about Coal Battle. I think Coal Battle has the potential, and, you know, Coal Battle is a horse that could move forward off his last race, needed a little bit more time going into that race. And I just think that looking at the way that the speed sets up now, I think he might benefit as well and be sitting just off of that and have first run. And he will be the horse that uh, he will be the Mystic Dan. He'll be the horse getting the first run, and Sovereignty and some of the others I think are going to, Sandman and those horses are going to. Those are going to be the, the forever youngs coming late, and just like last year, it's setting up to be a great race. And, for all the talk and the two Japanese invaders, which we haven't even talked about yet.
No, and they could throw a monkey wrench. Exactly. So it's to me, Tim, I think this is one of the most exciting derbies coming up in a long time. This could be an interesting race,
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people, a lot of the pundits and a lot of, the talking heads for quite some time up to this point about how we really don't have a great derby field. And I don't necessarily agree. What we don't have is a great standout horse.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a knock on the entire class. I just think that, there are quite a few that are, yes, we don't have a standout. Yes, we don't have a real superstar to this point, but at the same time, maybe we have a superstar in the making.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And we got Sure Betty. Hey, Sure Betty.
What is up?
Thanks for joining us. But okay, so we got a little bit there, and we'll get into a little bit more. We are 8 minutes to race 2. Let me read the conditions here for you, Tim. And the conditions here for race 2 are as follows. State optional claiming 50 non-winners of 2 lifetime for accredited Louisiana bred fillies, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races.
All right, Sean, wait, before we talk any more about this race, I just got to poke the formula here. He likes the number 12 horse in an 8-horse race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Formula, I think you're talking about race 3 because we only have 8 in here. So there's no 12.
Gatekeeper, how are you? Great. Thank you for from Oregon.
I'll tell you, Sean, I think we've got a real standout in this race. And right now, the early money basically says that 6-5 off a 2-1 morning line. I think the 2 bet to win it is the class of this race. And you look at this horse, and my non-winners at 2 life angle is that I like to look at everybody and look at the maiden win that each of them have. And if you look, this horse won maiden first time out at 43,000, maiden special weight at Delta Downs, then goes to the fairgrounds and runs in La Futurity, Sean.
Yeah.
And finished a solid second in that race.
He did.
And came back in 2 allowance races, one at the fairgrounds, another one back at Delta, and still 2 on the board finishes. This horse in 5 lifetime starts has not been off the board.
Yes.
A win, 3/3 and 3 seconds and a third. And this is an optional claimer at Evangeline.
Yeah.
And nothing against any of these other horses in here, but none of them have been racing and successfully at the class of the 2. So
Right.
I just think the 2 is head and shoulders above everybody else in this field right now. So looking at everybody though, and given that, I'm going to try to find a little bit of a price, and I thought I'd get a better price of this. The horse has dropped down a little bit, but the number 5 Wicked Sailor.
Yeah.
Sean, look at that last race. This horse finally breaks a maiden in the 4th lifetime start at the fairgrounds. So decent maiden, 20,000 claimer.
Yeah.
Wins by 4.5 length. What were the odds on the horse, Sean?
Yeah. 95
to 1. So, they bring her in here, and they put her in this optional claimer, and there are no real standouts in here beyond the 2. And if you look at the speed figure of that last race, it's as good as or better than everything else in the race. And, she comes in here off a morning line of 15 to 1. I was ready to jump all over that, and she's already dropped down to 6 to 1. But, she brings her jockey with her. And, to me that's a good sign. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like Wicked Sailor quite a bit underneath Bet to Win It. And then just to throw one more out there, the 3 is a horse that another one that I would like at a little bit of a price. So I'm price searching underneath. But again, so this is one off a 20-1 morning line, and now we're at 7. So if you look, other than the 2 at even odds, listen to this, Sean: 7, 6, 6, 8, 7. So it's pretty darn even across the board. You get rid of the 1 and the 6 who are double digits, and everybody else is right there at that 6, 7, 8, 8-1, which I think is wide open underneath. And that's why I was looking at everybody else saying, well, I like these horses as much as horses like the 7 who are going to be lower odds. And now they're not. But 2, 5, and 3 for me, I think that's pretty solid. But the 2 on top is a real standout to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was looking at the field myself here, and this is I do think the 2 is definitely the horse to beat here by far. Very interesting, but I do like a horse here at a price of the 8 Incognito Burrito. Alan Landry and Jansen Melancon, the son of the great G Money, Gerald Melancon, who, look at this, 7 thirds and 16 mounts. So obviously he's seeing the board well. This horse, if you look at her first start out at Delta Downs, came in 3rd with Jansen aboard. So this won't be the first time that Jansen's. And I do like the fact that they gave a chance at a $100,000 race at Fairgrounds, and was steadied between. Really, if you watch the replay, it was really checked in that race. So it kind of really lost all chance. It was steadied really hard by Thornton. Now Thornton jumps onto the 2, which gives the 2 even more credence. But the 8 is I think this horse, cutting back to the 5 furlongs where it started. Jansen rode it. Ran a very good race. I think if there's a little bit of pace up front, I think this 8 can get maybe not to the 2, but close behind it. And I think this is a fascinating race. And the 7, clearly Credo, has run 2 very solid races thus far, and did win its maiden at 5 furlongs. So has shown a propensity to run well in it. So,
yeah, the thing about the 8 to me, Sean, I looked at the 8 quite a bit because she broke her maiden at the Fairgrounds with Florent Giroux up in a maiden special weight against some good horses. But the thing was, that was a 6 furlong, and the 5 opening in her first race was not that good. And I just don't think she has some of the speed of some of these others. I think she needs at least another length or so. That was my concern about her, is that I'm not sure that she wants the 5 furlong distance. And then the last 2 races have been at a mile. So she's cutting way back, obviously. But I could totally see it. I mean, she's definitely got some class and ran in some decent allowance races, and then ran in a stakes at the Fairgrounds at a mile. So clearly well thought of out of, a 2-step salsa mare out of, sired by Practical Joke. So decent bloodlines, and I just think she wants a little more distance.
Yeah,
and from the outside, that's kind of why I was playing against her, and
sure.
kind of went price searching a little bit, and and the odds are kind of evening out for everybody else, which I find really interesting. But she is right now the second choice at a lukewarm 6 over a couple at 7, and then 2 more at 8, and then 1 at 9. But it's kind of wide open under the 2, I think. But the 2 just seems like a standout winner in here.
I agree. Yeah.
Get in Timmy Thornton.
Yep. All right, Tim, I'm ready.
All righty, let's do it.
Going to do a real simple, try to get some value underneath. I'm just going to do a $1 try key 2 with the 4, 7, 8.
All right, $6 wager.
Yep. They keep it nice and simple here, Louisiana early. You know, don't try to rock the ship. Mark Wells, thank you, my friend. So appreciate that. So thank you for joining us as always. Paul coming in with the Masters. Justin Rose, 66. Exactly. The all-time leading leader after round one, breaking the tie with Jack Nicklaus. Very impressive, Paul. So formula saying Mike Whitten is doing better than the Dow Jones.
I don't know. It was a pretty well yesterday. So
yeah, and today came crashing in again.
One of the
roller coaster
one-day jumps in history.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Whitten's got a $22 bankroll, $1 to place and show in the 4, 6, and 7. We're getting towards the gate here. Looks like a beautiful night down there for racing.
It really does. The weather looks great down there, and like I say, I know that it was fast and firm. So
yeah, and nobody's using coats, which is great. 78-degree temperature. Wow.
Yes.
What a nice night, perfect night for racing.
Yeah, Bobby, I saw it tank today. My point was about it being down is just about the big recovery yesterday. And, people look at it and the Dow Jones is not something you need to watch on a daily basis. And when it's down, the last thing you want to do is look at your 401k. It's like we're in it for the long haul.
Yep. And we're now starting to get to the gate. The 2 is now the overwhelming 4-5 favorite. Now there's a hunch for us this past weekend there, Tim. I noticed that later on in the card, Mud on My Boots. I think that's
it always does, Bobby. You're right. It always does.
I think that's the song, Mud on My Boots.
Paul, I wouldn't say every day, but I would say that I'm probably playing something every day.
Yeah, bet HJ Keeneland. No, I put in 1 or 2 bets a day at Keeneland. I don't bet every race. I'm working. I look at the card as a whole and see if there's anybody that I like, and then I focus on those 2 races.
Yep. Find the races you got strong opinions in, and stay away from everything else.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I had done that on Sunday. That would have been that would have been much more exactly. Burnham and East Avenue helped me though. A great question, Paul. Oh, good job, Paul. That's great at Burnham Square.
And how about our friend Ian Wilkes with 2 grade 1s? That one in Positano Sunset.
Go, Julian.
And I had Positano that day, so.
Yes, great for our friend Julian Leperoux, who's kind of stopped by and say hello to us.
Yep, Julian said hello to both of us the other day.
Here we go.
From the middle of the pack, the 6 got out to a quick start, but then the 2 is going to take the lead as they head down the back stretch. Got about 1.5 lengths over the 6. The 1 is in third down on the rail. Outside that one is the 3 horse. The 5 is right there. The 8 is 4 wide. 4 horse currently trails the field up front. Bet to win it. The 2 at 3-5 as your favorite. Here coming up on the outside, I believe that's the 8 horse starting to make up a little bit of ground as we the top of the stretch here. And it's going to be the 2 horse, the 8 outside that one.
Come on, 8 and 7.
2 and 8. Who is that
Come
in
on,
between
8 and
them? Is that
7.
the
Come on,
sister,
you
Sean?
2. Yeah, it's a 10. It's a 7. Can we get the 8
So
to get
2 is still much the
third?
best, but who are we going to get home after that one? It
Oh,
looks like it's going to be 2,
2,
7,
7,
and 6.
6, 8.
2, 7, 6.
Yeah. Almost used the 6 there, but
And the 7's the one we didn't talk much about. I kind of out of all the horses, the 7 was kind of the one that I decided to kind of pitch. And
yeah, I included him only because I liked the fact that he was a solid, and his double showed well. But yeah, that's okay. We were close. If we could just get rid of that 6. Maybe with a 6 bump anybody. 6 turning his head. That's a foul. No. No, he looks pretty straight on the head on. I'm a little bit in on the 8. There you go. Jansen, call up to the storage. Whoa, look at that. 4 just coming out, taking everybody. 3 came out and took everybody out.
yep.
Wow. Good Lord. And let's see, did anyone most importantly on our thing hit that? Let's see. Wow, Paul at a 40-1 winner. Nice job.
Rodney, you have got to stop drinking that Baffert Kool-Aid, my friend.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So Rodney, this is one of your this is Encino pick number 2 here. Coming up here. Encino's a good horse, very good horse. Exactly. But the Wood Memorial, as much as I being in Northeast Aqueduct is Naira's my circuit, love it. The Wood Memorial, Rodriguez and Grande were basically facing non-winners of one like field and New York breds. I just don't think that field was strong enough versus that group. I think Grande could be a good horse going forward, especially
he's the only one I want out of that race, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. The first time against Stakes, he was really coming, and Rodriguez, if he tries to do what he did, and our friend East Ave is with him, he will be seeing buried. The backside of 16 animals coming down the stretch.
He will be buried.
Yeah.
Rodriguez does not have the stamina to go 1.25 miles.
No.
He will be sucking wind before they hit the top of the stretch.
Yeah, he got that race all his own way and not fast fractions, but I do think that Grande going forward could be and another one. I'll just say this quick, Tim. He's a young horse. He hasn't had a lot of races yet, but don't give up. I think down the stretch as the season goes along, River Thames could still be a very nice horse. That's only was his 3rd or 4th race. He's right there. I mean, so he's a young horse, but he's getting better. You know what I'm saying? He could be the one that maybe at the end of the year, he could be an exciting one for Pletcher. But hey, Armchair, how are you, my friend? And if anyone's on Twitter, check out Armchair's diagnosis tonight of Evangeline. Did a great job for us there. Thank you, my friend. Great to see you. Yeah, and that's fair, Rodney. Exactly.
Look, right. We say it all the time in here. I will never talk you off of a horse that you like.
No.
I'm just expressing my opinion. I don't necessarily agree, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. I could be the one wrong here, but I just do not see it with Rodriguez at all. Yes, he moved forward a little bit. I totally agree with Sean. That was not a good field at all. He and Grande are the only 2 moving out of that race that you want anything to do with going forward. And Grande to me is a better prospect than Rodriguez. Rodriguez maybe has a chance in the Preakness, but and even then I don't like the horse. I really don't. I just think that Baffert's crop isn't what he wanted in his first year eligible to come back to the Kentucky Derby this year.
Yeah. And it will be interesting. I think if you're Baffert, here's your problem again that Baffert faces is if you put Rodriguez in and you put Citizen Bull in, they both are one way. They're
Right.
both front runners. I mean, you're almost just stacking the deck against yourself. Because neither one can rate.
That's why I wouldn't let him race against each other.
Yeah.
And every time he ran Rodriguez against Citizen Bull, he wouldn't let him run.
Right. Exactly. Right. So, hey, Firsty, how are you?
He had to send him to New York to finally let him run. But
right. Exactly. Yep. Absolutely.
I definitely don't think that he has what it takes to run.
No,
that
especially if Eastern Avenue is in that race. There's no way their game style just does not fit trying to chase Eastern Avenue for a mile, and then have anything left in the stretch. It just won't. No. Exactly. Yeah, Firsty, sorry we didn't get to meet up, my friend, but definitely next time for sure. And thank you to everybody, 81 strong, joining us tonight. And we move to race 3. And I think we know what the formula likes here in race 3 before we go back. Exactly. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. So before we do anything, formula here in race 3 likes the 12 over the 6-2-3. Now we're in the right race. So the formula has got the 12 over the 6-2-3. There you go. Todd's cooking, so now we have a chance to win now. Okay, there we go. Like it, Todd. Third race, 5.5 furlongs, maiden special weight Louisiana breds. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. 3-year-olds 121, older 124. And let me see. Oh, hey, Curtis, it's fantastic. Steve is due. Absolutely. The horse ran a huge race, my friend. And even, I know I'm biased with the preservationist baby, but don't throw out a chunk of gold if the pace is really fast and contested up there. He's put in 2 very nice races at Fairgrounds along with Tistastic. So we can have a very interesting race.
And if you did not hear today, the connections of Owen Almighty have pulled out of the Derby and they are going to the Pat Day Mile, which is exactly where that horse should be.
Yay, Lynchy. The horse, I talked to Lynchy and he said that the connections, as you saw, he just can't rate. He cannot rate. The horse will not rate, wants no part of rating, and he has to go. He just will not rate, and he's a 1-run horse, so they have to bring him to the mile. And I think he'll be very tough in it.
But what about Luxor Cafe? I think Luxor Cafe throws a real wrench into the work as far as the speed battle, because this horse has some speed. And if you have not looked at any of the Japanese races, go back and look at that last race for Luxor Cafe. Also, Admire Daytona. Admire Daytona is already on the grounds at Churchill. Is in the barn right now, just waiting for quarantine to come off. But that's another one. Those two kind of hooked up. And go back to the maiden race where the 2 of them actually were in the exact same race. Luxor Cafe broke his maiden in that race. Admire Daytona might have gotten better than Luxor Cafe has since then. And that's an angle I'm taking. Admire Daytona is coming out of the UAE, having won the Derby there. So definitely interesting bringing those 2 in. You know, it's only a matter of time before Japan finally gets a Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, no doubt. And Vince Watson just put what I tweeted out the other day. I said there could be 8 horses in the Pat Day Mile from the Baffert barn. Exactly. It could be called the Bob Baffert Mile by the
There's something about the way that Baffert trains to where he only trains horses to be on the lead and for speed. And, I'm not sure every horse he has cannot be designed to run that way. And that's just the way he runs. But he doesn't train them to run otherwise. So
that's what made, it's funny, Tim, I was just thinking that's what made Opportunity so special, was the fact that he was one of the rare Baffert horses who could actually come from behind, you know what I'm saying, and actually sit off a pace. They very well often they're not able to do that, the way he trains them. But he was one of the rare exceptions, for sure.
I just think it takes such a special horse to go gate to wire in the Kentucky Derby. It's so hard to do. And I don't think we have any of those horses in this field.
No, I don't. I couldn't agree more with you. All right, so we're 9 minutes from race 3 here. And do we have any scratches? Just the 13. Another stacked field of 12 here, Tim.
Yes.
And an exciting race, for sure. Okay, so let me start here. This is a little puzzling to me. Sometimes the odds at these small tracks can be a little bit interesting to see. We're what we're doing here, and it's 5.5 furlongs. So we kind of look here and we see, who do we like here? And my pick here was the first pick was the 12. Congrats, Cadet. That's a Tim. That should be a Tim pick. Justin Jessimone, Jay Ramirez Jr. This horse, at first time out, maiden special at Fairgrounds, 25-1, was 4 or 5 wide, up for the show, held, ran a really impressive race. And now he gets the bug boy for even more weight. Just ran what I love to see, March 1st. Look at this. He runs that big race, does it out of Midshipman, who I just saw at John Abel Stables this weekend, who still looks amazing. The fact that this horse, what does he do? He comes right back at Fairgrounds 2 out of 11 with a nice workout, which shows he's still sharp. So I think this 12 could be a major player here at 5 furlongs. When you're on the outside, you can just go straight, which other horses may kind of bump each other. This horse can go dead straight. So I think this horse has got a big shot in this field, and he is right now at 9-2. My second pick in this race, and this is I put a question mark here, is Jeff Delholm. For everybody who knows, his brother Jake the Snake, Jake Delholm, played in the Super Bowl for Carolina versus the Patriots. He's had a very good year, only 16 starts for 4 wins. This horse was running against 50,000 on the turf at Fairgrounds, and now he goes to 5.5 on the dirt, which is interesting move in itself. But Jeff's had a very good year, knows how to spot his horses very, very well. And even though his works are on the slow side, he has good numbers going turf to dirt. I thought this horse was an interesting play, and at 4-1, the crowd is agreeing with me on that one. And then my third pick was the 5, Welcome to Hazelville. This horse is getting a fast track for the first time. And some of his workouts have not been that bad. They have been great, but did have a nice 103 to Evangeline, so has worked out there before. One of his best workouts. Maybe the fast track will be to his liking. Brett Brinkman already 3 for 9 at the meet. He's seeing good stuff. So I was 12, followed by 3, and then 5.
All right, we're pretty close. I definitely think that the 12 is the strongest win candidate. I really like that horse in here. One that I like underneath is the 7, FJ's Chaos. This is a horse that third time off a layoff has been running at this level, raced at Delta Downs before going to Fairgrounds and was just beaten a length by Pray for the Wicked in there. So that was a good race, and beat actually the 6 horse who is in this race and taking money here with Del Cid up. But third off a layoff is an angle that I really like. I think this horse, if he moves forward, if she moves forward, could definitely be right there. And then the 6 horse with Del Cid, it's hard to keep Del Cid out of the trifecta here, at Evangeline. But there are so many others here that, I mean, I think after the 12, it's pretty muddy. From the 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I all like a little bit, and I went back and forth trying to figure out who I like the most, and I ended up on the 7 with the 6 under that. But you could make a case for the 3 in here, for the 5 in here, for the 6 in here, and it's really tough. So we'll take a look at them on the track as they come out and figure out who we like underneath. But 12-7 was really strong for me, and I look up at the moment and see that the 7 is actually gone down to the 3-1 favorite off a 12-1 morning line. So I love the 7. I like the 12 a little bit more, but the 7 is one that just kind of stood out to me with the races that horse had been in and some of the horses that she has run against. So kind of those 2 and everybody else for me.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and let us know who you like out there, my friends. Let's see, Tim's picks right now are 5, 12, and 6. Rob's picks are 5, 12, and 6.
Oh, when you said Tim, I was like,
yeah, so exactly. Rob's picks are 5, 12, and 6.
And just as we say that, now the 5 is the favorite at 7-2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the 5 and the 7 are both 7-2, but the 5's taking a little bit more money.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about Congrats Cadet, Sean, is I don't know if you remember, but that's a horse who at the odds you were talking about. I like that horse in the last race at Fairgrounds.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, and he ran a very good race. And I love to see the nice workout like right afterwards,
And that was 6 furlongs. Now we're cutting back to 5.5. I think she definitely had more speed early.
Yeah, no doubt.
But she's definitely going to have to move from the outside, though.
Yes, absolutely. Rodney said, goal-oriented, that just broke his maiden for a timeout. Look out, typical Baffert. Okay, there you go. Excellent. Bobby's got 5-7 with 6-1-10 win on the 6 and the 4. Mike Whitten's got $1 to place and show on the 4. Good luck, Mike. Bobby D's got exact box 7-8. And Bob Jackson is playing the 6th, Lyrical Bell. We're getting close. They're just coming onto the track. There's 2 minutes to go, but they're just coming onto the track. So it'll be 5 minutes to go. Thank you to everybody joining us tonight. The field's starting to come onto the track right now. Thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. As always, Jerry Long, how are you, my friend? 5-12 exacta box. Good luck. Tim's formulating his pick right now.
Yeah, we're taking a look as they come onto the track.
Yeah, and that's an important ingredient into the mix for sure. Yeah, I definitely think there's Colin. What's up, Colin? Sorry we missed you this weekend. Sox with a walk-off win. Gotta love it, Colin. Could not be swept by the Blue Jays. That would have been bad. But they did get a win. They did get a win. Todd is win, place, and show in the number 3 production meeting. Good luck. Tim's just looking for his picks right now. Hey, it's Keith. How are you, my friend?
What's up, Keith?
We still had a great time, my friend, under the circumstances. We always have a good time. Thank you, my good man. Good job, Paul. Nice job. Well done.
All right, Sean, I think I know what we want to do here.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to bet a $2 trifecta key, $12. 12 with the 5, 6, 7.
There we go.
I still, I looked at all those horses. I like the 12. I see everything else, but I like this 12 in the spot. 5, 6, 7. I'm having trouble separating them underneath, so we're gonna box them all underneath the 12 and hope we get it home.
Paul's asking, Sean, did you go into the VIP section in Keeneland this year? No, I did not go in the clubhouse this year, Paul. No, I stayed in the grandstand. Did not go up into the clubhouse this year. Well, I did to get a program. Exactly, I should not say that. I did to go to the program, but I did not go upstairs. I just stayed around the track.
I had to leave him though, Paul. I had to leave him a couple of times because we're trying to get from point A to point B a couple of times. And every time we're walking anywhere, 1,600 people have to stop Sean and take a picture with him on the way. So
Todd is asking, Keith, who is your pick in this race? Keith, who did you like if you looked at Evangeline, my friend? Todd's got a 312 exacta box. Oh, I like the box. There you go, Todd. It was a great weekend.
Yeah, David, you're not alone. The rest of our group also canceled their trip, as did most people. I didn't get up there until late Saturday to join Sean and for a couple of days, and it was a mess. So.
Yeah. I got to learn the Red Mile very well. I had never been to Red Mile before. Now I know it like the back of my hand. So
good place to go for simulcasting.
Exactly. Yep. Kudos to my friends at the Red Mile. Exactly. You have a lovely little track there. Made my days very enjoyable. Yeah, sorry, Dave. Yeah, a lot of people's plans were thrown in the monkey wrench because of that storm for sure.
Yeah, it really sucked. Yeah, we're always going to make the most of it.
No, we had
John
both
and I
gone.
still had a good time.
Oh, I had a blast. I had a blast. I always have a blast. Exactly. No, I
And we
had a
still
very,
got to see a lot of people there at the track, and have a lot of fun. And Monday
yeah.
was a great weather day. I got a little sun on my forehead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My neck was actually burning when I got back. I didn't even notice how exactly. Yeah.
I didn't notice till I got back, but I'm like, hey, I got a little sun up here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, we Paul. Both of us were. He was gone, and I had to fly home before the Bluegrass was even. So Kyle Graves got a try key box 7 over 3, 5, 6, 12, and I'll play your key for 50 cents. Love it.
Yeah, I intended to stay up there for Tuesday and stay for the Bluegrass, but there were two things. One, the forecast was for to just be downright cold here. The flooding here this year is just it's bad. It's really, really bad. It's like one of the top floods that have hit the Louisville area ever. And so many people have been impacted, and I'm not impacted from a home perspective, but was impacted with utilities and some things going on because our town down below us, we're on high ground, so I don't have to worry about my house, but the town is completely flooded. I can see the Kentucky River or the Ohio River, excuse me, from my house. And but I showed Sean pictures of the entrance to my neighborhood, and the Ohio River is come up about a 15-foot wall across lots of where you've got lots deep enough for a home, and then across a 2-lane highway, and then up the entrance to my neighborhood. It's just bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to quickly before the race goes off, to put into perspective, folks, the annual monthly rain for Lexington, Kentucky in April is 4.4 inches for the entire month. So you are talking, you've already tripled exactly the rain amount, and you're only halfway through the month. So that is just staggering.
Yeah, there are lots of places in Kentucky right now that if it doesn't rain a drop for the rest of the year, they will be above their annual rainfall total.
Yep.
Annual rainfall total. Been a wet one. Yeah, Paul, unfortunately, some people lost some money on having to cancel rooms and travel and different things. A lot of our Trust the Prophets guys were able to refund at least parts of that, but people did lose money in traveling and tickets and everything else. Here we go, and we are off from the outside. The 11, really good gate speed. Now down on the inside, the 5 and the 4 come forward. The 12 outside is 4 wide. Down on the rail, the 1 behind that one. But up front early, it's going to be the 4 taking the early lead. Just outside that one, you have the 5 horse. The 1 down on the rail is coming up into second. The 3 is back in fourth. Back behind that one, you've got the 11 and the 12. It's another couple back to 6, 8, 5. Way back to 2 trails of field. The quarter was in 22 and 3 up front. Really contested pace between the 4 and the 5 on the lead right now. The 1 down on the rail, the 12 is in behind those, has got work to do still as we hit the top of the stretch. Those 2 are still battling for the lead. The 4 and the 5, the half was 46 and 2. So the speed was fast enough. The 12 is way back and is not going to get there. Our wager is done, but here comes that 7. The 7 is going to be much the best. It's going to get up. 7 is going to get the win. 5 is going to be second. Close for third between the 4 and the 1.
Yep.
The 7, FJ's Chaos.
That's the horse you like.
Yeah, I love that horse, but I took the wrong one. That was the 1 third off a layoff I talked about. I really liked that horse a lot. I got stuck on the 12, and the 12 took late money and went off as your favorite, Sean. So I'm not the only one.
Now the bug boy clearly missed the gate for the 12. You know,
Yep.
and that really hurt him for sure.
But that was a great stretch run by the 7.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great run. Yeah.
Was much the best. And then, in behind him, 1, 4, and 5. And I said, most of those horses in the middle, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you make a case for every one of them. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sully was, look at Sully. He ate at a pasta garage, bought a prom desk at Miss Priss, toured UK, and ate the best gluten-free pizza. Look at that. What a busy night. Look at that. Whew. That's doing Lexington right there. John Paley, how are you, my friend? Are we planning on doing a Derby Day lounge? That is to be determined.
Yeah, it'll depend when we get closer, see what everybody's up to. I mean, we all have things going on, so we will let you know for sure.
Yeah. And Dan H, how are you, bud? Race 3 had a 5, 7, 12 with 5, 7, 8, 12 for $1. Easy in. And was it 7 what? 7
5.
Oh, good. So Dan
7,
got
5,
it.
1, 4.
Good job, Dan. Good job, my friend. Gizmo Hardy, how are you? Damn, I had 7, 5, 12 all super. Oh, so close, Gizmo.
Yep. That 12 kind of let us all down.
Paul asked, what level of racing is at Evangeline do you get compared to other tracks? Probably like if on a scale of 1 to 10, probably it's like 4, 3. You know, they do have some big like stakes races down there for Louisiana breds. Oh, look at this. Rob Toole. How are you, my friend? Look at this. One of the best announcers. Great man. Thank you for joining us tonight, my friend. Great racing so far. What a beautiful night.
Absolutely. It looks like you guys are having some great weather down there, Rob. So good racing so far. We like it. We've been all around it. We haven't hit anything yet, but we're close. We love the 7 in that last one, so we're right there.
We did right there. We like the 12. He got a little bit out of the gate, but the 7 came roaring down that stretch, and what a stretch duel that was between the 7, the 5, 4, and 1. Very good race. Yeah, Todd's only rating it a 3 because he can't win anything. If he was winning 4 in a row, the track would be a 10. Exactly. But Evangeline is an excellent track. And Rob, thank you so much for always making it a great event with your great call.
And to answer your question, Paul, I'll answer it this way: is that the fairgrounds basically ends up their racing and a lot of those horses, a lot of the the bigger barns, so to speak, and the higher rated horses head up to Keeneland, and many of those horses head north and then back to other parts of the country, but. For the Louisiana breds, I mean, you've got a lot of horses, and we've talked about a couple of them here so far tonight, and not only those, but a couple of the others. But when Fairgrounds closes and some of those barns go north, you've got some good horses that come over to Evangeline. So don't overlook some of the horses here. I wouldn't say that. Look, it's not one of your major tracks in the country, but it has some absolutely incredible races here, and there's some really good horses down here. So.
Yeah, and some of the Louisiana stakes races are stacked, and they provide some of the best finishes in the country. So never ever take their stakes races lightly, because they are very, very good, especially the Louisiana Stakes Series, a very well run Stakes Series program indeed.
For sure, and it's just like we've talked about with a couple of the horses so far tonight that have come in from races at the fairgrounds and had been running in some really good races there and have come in here and done well. So not surprising. Not surprising.
Not surprising.
Horses like Bet to Win It back in the second was, running in the Louisiana Futurity at fairgrounds, and then comes in here and just really dominated that field in the second race. But so those are some things that you can always watch for. But great track, great connections. I love watching Evangeline.
Absolutely. And then when they get to the turf races, it's even better. So exactly, yep. So we will go to, we're going to turn the page, and we will go to race 4, which is 7 furlongs on the dirt, claiming 5,000 non-winners of 2, purse 11,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. Again, right down Tim's wheelhouse, which is great here. And we have another full field of 11. You can never say that Evangeline is not throwing out the horses, because they're making these challenging with these big fields. You'll love it. It's right, Paul. It's like a regional track. Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah, and Dan, and with the smaller tracks become the smaller pools. So if someone makes a bigger bet, then the numbers can fluctuate, of course. But that is definitely true. And we got an interesting field here for sure. 14 minutes to post here. And thank you to everybody for joining us tonight here. Over 100 people. Yeah, if you get the favorite out, you can definitely. Todd's running is not running into cement walls. That's good. Very good, Todd.
What is Todd talking about?
Todd's always good when Tom is it. Paul, do I have a bet on the golf majors? I have a team, Paul, that I assembled. Let's see, Scheffler, Fitzpatrick, Finau, DeChambeau, Reed, and Connors. So I'm not doing that bad so far. Benny Betts, how are you, my friend?
Hey, what's up, Benny?
Great. Thank you for joining us as always. And yeah, and we got a full field here, Tim. I think this is what's making this these challenging. I love is the big fields. The thing people don't recognize, and I always tell people this, Tim, Saratoga, your Del Mars, your Keenelands, whatever, year in, year out, the biggest bet track overall in the nation is always Gulfstream, because Gulfstream always has like 10, 12 horse fields. Bettors want big fields. You know what I'm saying? So when tracks like this give you 10, 12 horses for the big bettors, it's more chance to win money because there's more horses in it. This is an interesting field for sure. And let us know who you guys like here. My racer, we'll just let Tim look here for a second.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts here for sure. I had trouble getting around 2 horses in here, and even differentiating how, which one I like on top. So
Sure.
I'll just give them in numerical order here. So
yeah.
The one FJ's Flacco is another one. So here I'm a big third off the layoff fan, and this is one that is now like we just talked about with the 7 is coming third off a layoff. This horse has been in some decent races at this level. And that's my biggest concern about him, is at the level, but was just at the level at Fairgrounds, which here, now coming back to this level, even though it looks like the same level from a numbers perspective, the field
Sure.
is not the field is not the same level here as it is when they're at the Fairgrounds. So
Right.
that first start off a layoff did put got in front in the lane in that race, and then just got beat by a length in that, and 6.5 furlongs going 7, but that was in the slop. So I'm gonna give the horse an excuse off the layoff in the slop, and now came back in the second race against a little bit better. Had a little bit of trouble early on in the race and kind of got taken out and never factored. So I expect a better effort here against this field from FJ's Flacco on the rail. And then the horse that I probably liked a little bit more was the one. This is another one who is coming in off an effort at Delta Downs at the distance on a muddy track. Didn't seem to like the mud. Has run on a wet track 5 times and doesn't really seem to show. If you look at 2 of the last 3 have been in the mud, and both of those look like the horses up the track. But line through those, and what do we have? A 3rd place finish, a 2nd place finish, a 2nd place finish. So I think this horse on a fast track, which we've got tonight, should definitely move forward. Probably a better distance at 7 furlongs. I like Cowboy Calls in here, 1 and 3 for sure. And then behind those, I'll go out to the 8 horse. This is another one who looks like he's got early speed, has run against some better fields over the last couple at Houston, and now comes back to Evangeline, comes into Evangeline, back to Louisiana. And this is one who is going to be cutting back in distance to 7 furlongs. Was 3 races back, ran a 7 furlongs race and was closing for a good 3rd place finish. That was in the mud, but I like this horse underneath. This horse does seem to like a wet track. Is 2 for 2 in the money on a wet track. So 1, 3, and 8 for me. And if I gave you one more, Sean, the 7 is one that I considered as well. But just seems to be a little bit behind those top 3 for me. But 1 and 3, 3 and 1, I could almost put those either way. So it's a really strong exacta for me. And then 8-7.
8-7. Okay, got it. And Mike Casano, hi, bud. How are you? Welcome, my good man. Curtis Dennis says, you know how to make a small fortune horse racing? Start with large fortune. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Kyle Graves got an exact key box 3 over the 1, 5, 7, 8, 11. Jerry Long likes your tri key 8 with the 1, 3. Mike Casano's with you, 1, 3, 8, 11 tri box. And the Todd's is like the 11 is a solid play. So everybody kind of narrowing in on the same horses here.
Yeah, I mean, I really struggled making a case for some of these other horses, getting past those top 3, and the 1, the 3, and the 8 seemed like a little bit of a stretch to get to anybody else beyond that. But they don't run them on paper, Sean.
Right, exactly. Amen. Yep. No doubt. The horse is beginning to see where we are here. We have a 1, 3, 4. Yeah, and Tim, if anyone's interested in the Tool Times pick 6, he is pick 5. He is 1, 3, 8 with 1, 7 with 4, 6, singles the 2, and then 4, 6, 9.
So he's 1, 3, 8, just like me.
Yep. He's got He's got an $18 ticket on there for anybody if they're watching the feed. So thank you, Rob, for that, my friend, as always.
That's funny.
Yeah. Great minds think alike. Exactly. So we're kind of see how the odds play out here and what,
Yeah, we got plenty of time, so we can check out the odds and check out the horses. But I was just looking at the Tool Time selections. He's 1, 8, and 3. So
yeah,
I kind of like the 3 a little bit more than the 1. That's why I said I put them in numerical order. They were real close for me. If you made me pick one, I would pick 3 over 1 and then the 8, and that's kind of the way the odds are right now. 3 with the 1.
No doubt. Yep.
And the tool time is 1, 8, and 3. So he likes the 3 underneath.
Yep. And yep. And Cente's on the 11. Yep. Again, thank you to everybody. Let us know what you're drinking out there on Cocktail Lounge night. James White, how are you, my friend? 2 to win, place the show, and exacta key 2 with the 3, 4, 5. Bobby D is 6, 9, 8 with the win number 3 and exacta 1, 3, 8. Good luck, Bobby. Good luck, James. Jerry, good luck. Kyle, good luck. Thank you, everybody, for letting us know who you like out there. Seeing what the horses look like here. The 1 now down to even money, Tim.
Craziness. That was a huge drop that just took place there. You know what it was? Rob just gave the 1 on top, and he's just drawing all the money.
All the money. Yep.
He said, I like the 1, and everybody.
Rob, you are moving the needle, as we like to say, my friend. You are moving the needle.
Everybody's like, all right, that's the tool time pick. I'll take it.
Absolutely. And his picks are always very, very solid, so I can't blame them there. And interesting, this horse coming back to Evangeline Downs, where he has run some very solid races, for sure.
Rob acknowledged that he's moving the needle. He just talked about the horse, and it dropped from like 3 to 1 to even money. Now it's 6 to 5. So
But Rob, you are moving the needle, my friend. Exactly. That's what we call it in here in the lounge room. You are exactly. The people are listening. Sherbet Coffee's got exacta key box 8 with the 1, 3, 5, 7. Good luck, my friends. Hope you get a win. A lot of people 813 right now. You know what, Tim? Hit that button. Hit that button. The ball well. You like it. I like it. Our audience likes it. I'm just going to do a $2 exacta box 138.
138.
Yeah.
I like it.
In honor of our friend Rob, who also has 138 or 183, but exactly. Yeah. And Marv has got a try key box 8 with the 2, 9, 10. Curtis Stinnett as a try key 8 first and second with the 7, 4, 11, 10, 3. Good luck, my friend. On a beautiful night at Evangeline Downs, 78 degrees. Wish it was 78 up here in Boston, that's for sure. It is not even close to that. My boy Angel Suarez coming back from an injury on the 3. Good luck to him. Always love seeing him and his lovely wife Aubrey Green whenever they are riding. And she is one heck of a baker. Cold and wet out there. Mike, Mike, where are you again? Topo Chico with lime. There you go, Marv. Love it. Paul, this guy's Coke Zero as usual. Excellent. I've got my sparkling ice there, the fruit punch version tonight. Going with that. Cheers, everybody. Definitely in the morning, though. What do you call it? Get your Sherbet coffee because that is damn good. Well, Mike's in Connecticut. Okay, oh, from Waltham. Absolutely, Mike. I know Waltham well. My aunt used to live in Waltham. No, yep. Love Waltham. Sean Tim, have you ever watched or bet in the UK Grand National Jumps Fence race at Aintree? Repeating my question because I really want to know. Yes, I have. I have, Paul. Ruby Walsh has made me a lot of money over the years when he has won, for sure. I did not have the 33-1 shot that won this year that denied McManus yet another win with his what a great finish that was. But I have bet the Grand National before, and when Ruby Walsh was in it, I did very well. So I have bet the Grand National, and Ruby definitely helps me out a lot more than he did not help me. So, have you ever bet the Grand National, Tim?
I have not. I have not.
Oh, good. There you go. They got brand new lighting. Yeah, much brighter. I noticed that, Rob. He said, "Yeah, exactly. That's wonderful. That's what a great thing for Evangeline to new lights. It used to be a little. Yeah, that's great to see. Watch the coast is ready to bring a tsunami. Okay, there you go. Gizmo, just a Kentucky girl swimming in water over here. Gizmo, you stay safe, my friend. I just got back from Lexington, my friend. My heart and thoughts are with you all as the rebuild and everything comes down and the water subsides.
Yeah, it's craziness up here. I'm in the Louisville area, right on the river, and it's bad.
Yeah, not pretty. And we haven't seen Aubrey Green, but I can tell you right now that she is one of the best bakers you will ever. Not only is she a great jockey, she's a fabulous baker.
Who's that?
Aubrey Green, who is Angel Suarez's wife. It's very hard for Angel to be a jockey and have a wife who's an incredible baker. but he somehow does a great job with both. So
that has to suck.
Exactly, but he does a great job with both. So they are making their way towards the gate here.
They are.
Yeah, no, it's definitely bad. Todd is 8-11 here.
Good luck to everyone as we head to the gate. Big racing coming up at Keeneland over the weekend, so we still have a few stakes coming up tomorrow, and the Lexington on Saturday. So 3 more days left in the 8 consecutive days of Keeneland racing due to the opening weekend delays.
Yep. And a big race tomorrow. My boy Trickery, not Chikari, his Trickery, runs against Carl Spackler tomorrow.
Carl.
Yeah. Carl is back with, I'm sure our friend Stephanie somewhere is wandering around the backstretch right now, comforting Carl before he runs.
She's probably in the stall giving him scratches.
Yeah. Her lunch buddy is back on the track tomorrow.
Cinderella story.
It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
Love Carl.
Exactly. Yep. And James is going to add win place show in the 11. Good luck, James. They're making their way towards the gate.
At 11-1. Good luck with that.
Love it. I do love the fact that Angel's getting on here for Veronica, who hasn't won a race yet this year, but she's getting a real quality rider on the 3. You know, I think that's a big step up. That means that she's trying to win, you know,
So,
in my mind.
Right as we're loading into the gate, favoritism has tipped over to the number 8 Tap to Connect, 5-2 off a 7-2 morning line. Second is FJ's Flacco, the number 1 horse at 3-1, and Cowboys Calls, the 3 is 4-1. So it's still the 3 horses we liked. Good luck to everyone as we load them up. Keep an eye on those odds for any last minute changes, but right now still 8-1-3. And I like the 3 the most, so let's do that. Good luck to Dan on the 10 horse. Muncie.
Yeah,
Looks like 1 to go in. Just the 11 behind the gate. Load it up. Good speed on the outside from the 8 horse. All the outside horses showing good early speed. The 8 in between all of those looks to take the early lead. And now the 5 down inside is showing speed as well. But it's going to be the 8 taking them onto the backstretch. The 11 sits just outside that one. Just inside, you've got a wall of 4 horses. And I can't see any of this from here. But the 1 down on the inside, so there's our 1 horse. So it's 8-1. Just outside that one, I believe that's the 11. So is currently sitting second now. So 8-11 up front, Tap to Connect. And that's a 7, Bobby Merlot. So a lot of our horses up front early on. Bobby Merlot, the 7, is battling the 8, Tap to Connect. Here comes the 1 starting to make a move on the outside with the 9. Those 2 moving as a pair. The 3 horses yet to get a call. Where's our 3?
Where is our 3? Angel's trying to get out with him.
They hit the top of the stretch, and FJ's Flacco puts a nose in front down on the rail. That's the 8 horse, a 7 in between.
Trying to come back.
To the outside.
Come on, 8.
The 1's battling back. It's going to be the 1 on the outside. No. Here comes the 5 behind that one. It's going to be 1, 5, 8, and 7.
Angel not even getting close with the 3. Again, if you don't get out of the gate at this track, you're just swimming uphill. You know, you are just swimming uphill if you're not you know, crazy.
What the hell happened with the 3?
Yeah, he missed the gate. If you miss the gate at Evangeline, it's a very tough, you know. And he just completely lost it right out of the gate. And he just was never even in contention at all. You have to be close on this track, and he lost it right out of the gate.
I mean, he's not 5-2, not even close here.
No,
I think he's like 8th.
Yeah, and he wasn't even close. Angel missed the gate completely. When you miss the gate, as you're seeing here, folks, this is helping you tonight. When you're seeing the track, you have to be up close there to it. Like the 7 made a big move earlier that Tim liked, but he was close. He was only like 4 or 5 lengths off, and then just took them over. You have to be close. You can't be, you know. Torpedo Anna. Yeah. Getting ready to run again, Curtis. Very exciting. Yes, see, look at this. Rob, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. Great job, Rob. He gave it ice cold winner right on top. And 5-2, Rob. That's a heck of a price there. Your horse was down to you moved the needle to even money, but the doubters were proven wrong at 5-2. Great win.
The one did end up taking late money and going off as the favorite, but 5-2 lukewarm favorite.
5-2 is still great. Yeah.
Yep. The 5 horse is the one that kind of snuck in on everybody at 6-1.
Yeah, no, that was a nice race by the 5. Yep. Great job, Rob.
Because other than the 5, 1, 8, and 7, I would have had that one.
Yeah, exactly. I thought we were going to be 1-8 there for a second. I thought the 8 was making a comeback, but the 5 was too strong. Yes, but Rob's work is done. Did anyone have that? Thomas Blaine at 10 with the 8-6-9. Is that for this race coming up or what?
That was that one.
That was that one. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Wow, Paul Nolan won the Grand National at 50-1 with Noble Yeats. Oh, wow. Very cool, Paul. Oh, sure bet had the 5, wrong key. But good handicapping, though, my friend. That was great. I did not have the 5. But the 1 ran huge.
Tommy Pompel.
There you go. Nice exacta 1-5.
It really was. I don't think a lot of people were on the 5.
No, I don't think so either. Trying to see here. No, Sherbacks was right there, man. The 8. Oh, so close. I thought your 8 was going to get up there, Sherbet, for sure. Would have helped us too. But still great handicapping. So
I don't know what happened to my 3. Didn't get out of the gate and just killed.
I had him across too, and just didn't. Angel just didn't get him out of the gate. You have to. Tonight, clearly, you can tell you have to get your horse out of the gate, or they're not going to be in major contention. You have to be close coming around that turn. So clearly, we're not going to look for closers that are coming way out of it because they are not making up ground on this track tonight for sure. But we moved to race 5, undaunted. All we need is 1.
1 is all we need.
Yes.
1 is all we need.
And the 5th race tonight is 5 furlongs, optional claiming 15K, non-winners of 3, purse 32,000 for 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races.
All right.
And we have the 3, the 5, and the 10 are all out. So this is our smallest field, but still a good field, despite the scratches.
What's up, Kevin?
3, 5, and 10 are all out.
John, your friend Kevin Plouch is checking in.
Kevin Plouch in the house. How are you, my man? Great to see you.
He said he cashed on Burnham Square.
Good man. Yeah, we're doing well. Yep. Kevin, for anyone who knows, does a lot of handicapping at the Meadows, and which had a rare couple of guests yesterday and some geese who just would not move. They just would not move around the track, and they just stayed right where they were, and the 6 and the 7 had to go around them. and they were scratched. But I mean, but they almost got run over the first time, and then nope, they're not moving. And so Kevin, that was one of the most interesting races.
It was funny. I sent that video in our chat groups.
Yeah, exactly. But that was that race, as they say, was for the birds. Exactly. Those geese are tired of the tariffs. Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah,
It was
exactly.
funny. I couldn't stop laughing, and I saw the video, so I sent it to our group.
And what a fabulous call that was by
Yes.
him. He said, "You can't make this stuff up," you know.
Be like, you thought you've seen everything.
And I love when he said, "There's an inquiry right now on the 7 runners and the 2 birds." That was his call was magnificent. So
it was funny.
That was classic. So exactly. So yeah. So we have a full field of 7 here, with 3 scratches here on this race. And this is an interesting race, Tim. I thought, even with the scratches.
I have a horse I really like a lot in here, and I did not think my horse would be the favorite, and currently isn't. So
a
little bit of a price, but I like a horse a lot.
Okay, interesting. I like it. Let's see if we can hone in on who that horse might be.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, and this race, if we're looking here, I really like the 4 St. Peter's Bay for Chadwick Mouton and Vincente Del Cid. This horse is running against Discreet Mischief and Seaport Lane, who had a unfortunate race yesterday. Keeneland got hurt. Hope he's okay, but he was the favorite in the race at Keeneland yesterday. Ran against 15,000 claiming at Fairgrounds and just absolutely just destroyed them. Even 30K almost won. I think when this horse comes down to this group, I think he's going to be very tough. Has speed. The 2 allowance races, was running against Seaport Lane and Discreet Mischief. You're not going to get speed versus those horses. This horse has speed at Evangeline 5 furlongs. I think it's right up his alley, and he could be tough. The 7, Usually Wrong, coming in, has not run since Keeneland, but did win his. This is an interesting move. Won his maiden special weight, 115K at Oaklawn. Then went to Lone Star and won there. So and then Jansen joins on for Robertino Diodoro. Ran just jostled and pressed wide. Something happened for him to go on the shelf that long. So, but he is back for his race. The only thing I don't like about this horse is that there's constant breaks in the schedule. I don't like that, which means he may be of a bit of a brittle horse, but he does run well fresh as the debut and the Lone Star races do attest to. So that is definitely the second horse to beat. And the third horse I liked at a price was the 1 Double-Edged Sword, Tommy Pompel, Brent Brickman already off to his usual solid start in Louisiana. This horse is 1 for 3 at Evangeline Downs, but ran a nice race up at the Delta Downs in the wet last time, and he came very close in optional 15 on the fast at Delta Downs. So I am in this race 4, 7, and then 1.
Interesting. Definitely. where are we at here with, we still got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even showing the horses right now. Just click down to 9. Checking the odds. So you were 471?
Yep.
All right, then. So it looks like even the public right now, those seem to be the horses that are going to be taking most of the money. It depends on who it is as to the way that they're playing them. But I landed on the one here on top, Sean, and double-edged sword with Tommy Pompel. Tommy rode this horse the last time at Delta in an allowance race.
Yeah.
And they went pretty much gate to wire in that race. And the way the track is playing right now, I just really think that with this horse drawing the rail, it kind of favors his ability to just get out and kind of do the same thing. If he runs that race, I think he beats this field pretty handily.
Yeah.
So I love that we're getting 4-1 right now. I thought this horse might drop off a 3-1 morning line. So I absolutely love the one in here. But after that, underneath it gets a little murky, and I think the 4, 7, and 8 are the 3 horses that most people are going to land on. The thing about the 7, as you kind of mentioned, this horse is coming off a layoff, having been at Keeneland, Robertino Diodoro. The 8 is a Jonathan Wong trained horse. And then the 4 gets the kid Vicente Del Cid here, so it's going to be close underneath, I think. But I do think that this 7 horse, there's a lot there to like. Another one who has shown early speed in the first 2 races. That race at Keeneland, as we all know, that was world record, and Agu in that race. So that was a really good field. And kind of set up for closers that day. And this horse probably wants to be on the front end. And if you look at the works, though, this horse has been throwing a lot of bullets since. It's hard not to like the 7 coming off the layoff here. But if I had to pick another horse, I would take the 4 over the 8. Although I went back and forth between those 2. I think they're a lot closer. I've got both of those as third. So I've got 1, 7 with 4 and 8 underneath. But I really like the 1 a lot here. So we'll take a look here and see. And Todd points out that the 1-1 daily double with the 1 in the last race is paying $11.40, and the 1 just looks much the best on paper to me. I mean, Brett Brinkman right now out of 9 starts, 3 wins, a second and a third, and he's 20% off the layoff, and so 31 to 60 days. So I'm a big Tommy Pompel fan since my days at Fairmount Park when he started riding there. So and this horse has been a favorite 2 out of the last 3 races, and probably will be by post time here, I would imagine.
Yeah, Eric Millsap, your answer is 158, my friend, in the 4th in Evangeline Downs. 158 was your top 3.
But if you look at the double will pays in here, they lean to the 1. The pick 3 will pays lean to the 1, and the 4 is still the favorite right now. And I think that's probably a lot of Del Cid money.
Right. Yeah.
He seems to pull a lot of money, but.
This is interesting. When Todd's got 9 across, $2, $1 try, 9 across for $2 and $1 try, 187 in progress. Dennis money on the Dell said, love it. Double carryover Keeneland and pick 6 tomorrow. Wow. There you go.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was watching today. There was a double carryover with 2 races left.
Yep.
With 2 races left, there was nobody left alive.
Our man Raylu, 50, 4-1 today.
Yeah. But they had a 2-day carryover on that super high 5 in the last race, and somebody hit it today. A single ticket, Sean, and I want to say it was close to 100K.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
We're 4 minutes away from Evangeline race 5. Thank you to everybody, including Rob Toole, for joining us. Christopher D'Souza, how are you? Like 2 to win in place of the 247. Double carryover with 2 left. Yeah, races left. Wow. Yep. Unbelievable. That is how tough that track is doing right now.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a whole lot. But you know what? I'll say it again. I say it all the time. I love the fact that the pick 6 at Keeneland is a $1 wager. There's none of that 20 cent or 50 cent crap. And it's not a jackpot.
Yep.
It pays out every day as long as somebody hits it, obviously. But it's not a jackpot bet to where you have to have a single winner and they just take all your money every day.
Yep. Exactly.
And by the way, one of the best wagers in racing at Keeneland, if you have not done this yet, the $3 turf pick 3.
Yeah.
If any day that they have 3 or more turf races, it is the last 3 turf races is a $3 pick 3. Normally pays pretty well. The wager goes even if they decide to take any of those races off of the turf. If there are 3 turf races carded, the wager exists. So,
yep. What Dan says? What, Tim? You don't like 80s pick 6?
I love Assiniboia. I got my hat right here.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
I love Assiniboia, but I don't like any jackpot wager. I just don't. Not a fan.
Yeah. Sure bet coffee. Yeah, left out double edged sword and nervous about it. Oh no. Still time.
Yeah. And number 1, just click down to the 2-1 favorite. So this is what I expected out of this horse. I really expected the 1 to be the favorite. I was surprised that off a 3-1 morning line, I was getting 4. I was ready to jump all over that one, but we're not going to get that. But I do love the horse.
Yeah. What amazing! Does anyone have a stronger opinion? Race 8. We'll get that, Dan.
Dan, I don't know about a strong opinion. My top pick in there is just to let you know is the 4.
Yeah. Here's our buddy Malathot. We saw him at Kentucky. Finally hit that all turf pick 3 Tuesday, $256. Nice job, Malathot.
I'll tell you what, the wager pays on a regular basis, pays pretty well. I've hit it quite a few times. It normally pays a few $100, so definitely a good wager. I like it.
Yep. And we got 0 minutes to post.
0 minutes. We should probably get something in. You think, Sean?
Yep.
All right. Let's just do this here. I think we got it. I'm going to stick with my gut here, Sean, and just I'm leaving out a horse, and I know I'm leaving out one, but this is the way I handicapped it, and that's the way I'm going to stick with.
Yep.
I'm just going to play a $5 exacta one with 7-8.
Yep.
Cost you 10 total. Yes, I'm leaving out the 4. That was the way that I handicapped it, and I'm.
Yep. He's a man of conviction. Yep. And that's the way, folks, you got to do it. Stick with what you got. Stick with what you know.
And Sean, the reason that I did that is because of what we just talked about in the last race with the 3 missing the gate. Is that I think the 4 of those 4 horses, the 4 is the one that's going to be a little further back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think 4 is going to, even though it's still Sid, is going to leave himself more to do. And I think the 7 and 8 are going to be a little bit closer to the pace and up front. So
yeah,
see if we can bring this one home. Yes, Kevin, you are correct. They are the absolute worst. I don't know why any track does that. I'm not a fan of the 20-cent and 50-cent wagers. It's like, let's bring everything back to a minimum of a dollar base, and try to take some of those advantages back from the calls, and they just continue to take our money.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gotten bad. You see results in a race to where you've got double-digit odds in 2 of the 3 places, and exactas and tries that used to pay really well and now pay pennies, and it's ridiculous. And
right,
the way that they spread their money and take everything back, and then what they don't win out of the pool, they take back on rebates and just continue to take more of our money. So it's something that has to stop. Either that stops, or more and more of the gamblers are going to stop, and it's just like they're not going to have anybody's money to go against.
Exactly. Yep.
5-2 on the 1 horse. That's like gift odds right there.
I know. Huh?
You're betting straight. You might just throw down some win place on the 1 here. It's like, if you got a horse you like in the next, maybe you just throw down a double with a 1 too. If you've got somebody you like that might not be the favorite in the next.
Yeah.
Good luck to everyone. Here we go.
Here we go.
Load it up.
El Safate.
9 showing really good gate speed from the outside, just inside that one. The 8 in second, down on the rail in third is the 1. In between horses, 2 off the rail is the 6 horse currently sitting in fourth. The 8 passes that one. The 2 is down on the rail, and the 4 currently trails the field. The 9 horse India Inc. with real early speed, Mesa Spirit
21
in second. Yes, they are absolutely flying up front. The 7 usually wrong, starting to show speed, and down inside, double-edged sword. Tommy Pompel with work to do, but he's got the rail trip. Let's see if he's got the horse. Up front, it's the 9, still with the speed. The 1 starting to make up a little bit of ground inside, but has a lot of work to do.
You can't miss the gate. The 1 missed the gate again. These horses, if you miss the gate, you can't close. You have to be on the front. You can't, Tommy Pompel missed the gate, and you can't make the ground up. It's amazing. We're seeing this time and time again tonight.
Yep.
Horse missing the gate, they are not coming back. Amazing.
No, it's a merry-go-round out there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he lost that right out of the gate. Look, and they're just not closing. You have to be within the length or two. You know, the 7 did a great job to close here. You can close the last 16th of a mile, but the 1 had nothing. The 8 didn't get to either the 1, the 7, or the 9.
Yeah, you hit the gate, broke inside.
Yeah. Yeah, raced over. Yep, you have to get the lead.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. We're seeing that over and over. Tomsy, it was 7.
Yeah, the 2 horses, if you go back and watch that from the head-on view, there are 2 horses that got a really clean break, 7 and 9. How did it finish?
7-9. Yep. Yep. And Mike Cusano, 1, 2, 4, 7. I hear you, Paul. Yeah, so what we're going to do from the rest of the night is we're just going to look for horses that break really well, because you have to, if your horse is not breaking, and we thought the 1 would from the rail.
Mean, show me on his PPs what said he wouldn't break well.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if you miss it,
that's what kills us.
Yep. If you miss it, you're
he looked like he was going to be able to break well.
Yeah. And he just missed the break, and his horse just was not going to. Dan. Yeah, the 9 spelled uncontested for most of the race and impressive to clear. Yep, because that's what's happening tonight. You just can't in the 7. But the 7, give him credit. Exactly. 7 caught him, but it was in the last 16th of a mile. You're not going to catch them around the turn. You have to, you have to be in that position, which he was. And a great win. Who rode that? That was a great win.
All right. So I'm already going to tell you, I got the winner in the Knicks.
Okay. Mike Whitten, no, the Bluegrass is not being moved to Turfway. That we already have 1 big stakes race there for 3-year-olds. We cannot have 2. That's not how the points system works. But an interesting theory nonetheless. Get on that, Mike. Though call little Red Feather and those guys and see if they can move the needle for you on that one. Todd covered my wager. Good job, Todd. Nice job, bud. Well done. And now we get to move to the turf. This is exciting. A mile on the turf. Optional claiming $30K, the $15K, purse 29 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of $15,000 or less in 24-25.
And of course, now we're on the turf, so could be playing completely differently, and we haven't seen that.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yep. I'll have to ask Rob if in his opinion, if it's speed or if it's have the closers been able to
make up any ground at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was. And what did that pay? Marv hit the try. Great job, my friend. Well done, sir. Let me see what they paid. Nice job.
50 cents. I paid 190.
Wow. Great job. Love to see when our people win. Great job, Marv. Yeah, look at Todd, $130 for a dime. Not bad at all. Yeah, Dan, the takeaway is to go deeper in race 7, 8. Well, I would say go with the strong speed and hope they're, because right now that seems to be the turn, it seems to be the trend.
Deeper won't help when you key a horse on top and the horse doesn't get out of the gate, and your horse, you know what I mean? It's like,
But so the one here will probably take the money off the fairgrounds win last out. 7 coming out of some same race. 4 just as fast. You Americans love your college sports. Did you have an interest or bet in March Madness? I had a pool in both of them. I won the men's pool, and I was in the lead until in the women's. I'm a huge UConn fan, but I picked South Carolina over UConn. I still rooted for UConn, and they killed South Carolina. But my bracket, so I went from first to sixth. But yes, we did. So, oh, Gizmo. Oh, she's coming so close. Oh, we're going to think positive here. Just glad Duke didn't win. Go Gators. Yep. Great win by the Gators. And they were honestly at the end, I think Tim would agree. They were the best team at the end. Florida was really playing really good solid ball there towards the end.
Yeah, Sean knows. I told him when I was up there that I thought they would win. They were playing the best in the SEC in my mind, which was the best league all year long, and they were playing the best at the end of the season. I thought they had the best team, best starting 5, top to bottom overall, and I know Houston gave them everything they wanted in that game. And what's crazy is if you go back and look, the Gators only led for a couple of minutes of that game.
It's amazing. Yeah.
They led one time in the first half and at the very end of the second half, and that was it. And it was just crazy. But yeah, I'm with you, Gizmo. I was born and raised in Lexington and went to UK. I got 2 sons that graduated from UK. It's just like, I definitely bleed blue, but I'm always going to root for the SEC interest, and I'm not a Gator hater. I'll root against them when they play UK, and that's about it. But I'm glad the SEC won. I think they deserved it, and congrats to the Gators. And
yes, yep. Always a tough conference. The seldom ever in class conference.
We'll be back next year, Gizmo. Pope's already putting together a hell of a team for next year. So
yes, absolutely, you will be. Yep. He already see. Having been down there, I already know that a Pittsburgh guard is already transferred in, and then another guard another guy just transferred in. So already his team is much more solid.
Yeah, and they picked up, I don't know if you saw, Sean, they picked up a guy who originally committed to UK, and then when Calipari left last year, he decided to go to Arizona State, and now he's coming back to UK.
Yeah, I saw that.
They also picked up the big forward from Alabama. So yeah,
wow.
So he's transferring in, and yeah, it's going to be a great year. They've got some great young guys coming in, incoming freshmen. So SEC is always tough. It'll be a good year, but UK is back. We're back on the map.
There you go. Love it. Love it.
All right. Start singing at the number 1 at 6-5. They can have all of that.
Who will be Seabiscuit during this Great Depression? Bleed blue. Gizmo bleeds blue.
Me too, Gizmo.
Exactly. So we are, let's see, let's get back to Evangeline here. We're 10 minutes away here on the turf. And I field of 7. The 8 is the only scratch here. Tim, who did you like here, my friend?
This is one, and it'll be interesting to see how the turf is playing. But I like a horse here at a price, Sean. And if the turf is playing anything like the main track, to where a horse that gets out of the gate is going to be able to get out and run away with it, then I've got your winner. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. But I still like this horse a lot. So that's the 6. Daddy, hey, Daddy.
Yeah.
All right. Coming off a layoff since January, but I just think that the horse is going to get out of the gate. I don't see a lot of speed in here, Sean.
Yeah.
I don't see really any speed in here other than the 6, and that's why I picked the horse before we even knew how the track was playing. Because
right. Yeah.
I think this horse is lone speed and can get out on the lead all by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And just run away from this field. I mean, she's been racing, obviously. If you look, we're in an optional claimer, and last time out she was in an optional claimer, but before that she's got 2 allowance races at Louisiana Downs that she was racing in. She was allowance back last year here at Evangeline Downs. So at this distance and level, out of 10 races on the turf, Sean, she's 7 for 10 in the money, 3 first, a second, and 3 thirds. So I like her chances in here. I don't think that there's any real standouts in this field. To me, the 1 at this price is an extreme underlay. I don't think the 1 deserves to be 6 to 5 off a 5 to 1 morning line. So they can have every bit of that. I am not playing that kind of underlay. So I'm going to play the 6 on top, and then I'm going to give you one more that was a little bit of a price in the morning line, has come way down to where I expected her to be. That's the 5 Rosie's Angus.
Yeah.
And this is another one that I just think has been racing against bettor. Is probably the polar opposite of the 6, in that this horse is going to be a little bit further back and is going to be closing, but is working really well. If you look at that 4 April workout here at Evangeline, 49 and 2, 8th of 59 for the day. So definitely got the speed to be closing up at the end, and I expect her to be running hard towards the end. So 6-5, and then I do have the 1 underneath. I think you got to play the 1 in here. The 1 is going to be making a run as well. This is one who's been running at the fairgrounds, and but has been running against at this level. And I don't think there's anything stand out about the 1 here that says that she is this much better than the rest of the field, to where she should be 3 to 2 odds.
Right.
If I threw 1 more in, I would give you the 4 underneath, but that's definitely the ones for me.
Yeah. This isn't it. Yeah, exactly. And what your numbers one more time, my friend?
So 6, 5, and 1.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.
Oh boy, who gets old? Exactly. Yeah.
I have to do it.
I have to do it. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. I just got too many sources reaching out. Exactly. It's tough to be popular.
So 6, 5, 1, and if I added 1 more, the 4.
Yeah, perfect. There we go. Yeah. Top early speed in race 7. The next sprint to 3.72. Like it, Dan. Thank you. Now let's bleed a winning horse. I love it, Gizmo. Yeah, those are mine too. 5, 6. Sure bet copies with you on that one.
Let's go.
Yeah. 5 minutes to go here. And our bank. What's our bankroll right now?
What do you see, Sean? So we're currently sitting at 52. So
okay, yeah.
With only a couple races to go, we still got half of it.
Absolutely, yep. Yeah, this was an interesting. Again, the 1 is not my. It is not deserve the betting it's getting right now. Does it have a chance? Absolutely. But and you have Tim Thornton on there. Start singing Stephen Duke. The thing about this, and this is what I people don't look at enough, is like the horse looks great. The trainer's 2 for 35 on the year. You know what I'm saying? So the barn is not doing like, game. But now, granted, it was running against much better up there. But other than the last race where it won, it really hasn't been winning. And that was at optional 10, 5. So it's moving way up, in terms of like the.
Right.
So I wasn't thrilled about the one at all. And the 6, I think Timmy Thornton is one of those guys where if he's on a horse at Evangeline, he gets bet. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's Timmy Thornton.
I mean, I think he's leading the jockey stats right now, and he's got wins. He's got a win tonight already, so obviously going to take some money. But I totally agree.
Sure, exactly. So that was my kind of take on that horse. The horse that I was interested in here, definitely I was with you. The 6 is interesting to me. Emmanuel Nieves gets back on board, gets on here tonight. And if you look, he ran a very solid 4th at the fairgrounds last time, so he did get to kind of know the horse, which I think is when you're coming to this track. And look at Nieves so far: 6 miles, 3 seconds, 1/3. So he's clearly seen this track very nicely right now. And this horse has run well at fairgrounds. The 4 definitely intrigued me a lot. This horse has run 3 races of Evangeline, a win and a second. And he gets Lozada up tonight on this. It comes from fairgrounds. Again, running against optional 50, just way too tough. But and he was truly moving versus True Blue Sky. But again, he's moving up. So you're kind of trying to find the horse here that you think is kind of the ones moving up. You got the 4, the 2 favorites right now are kind of moving up into a different class, which I thought was interesting. Where if you look at this, the 5, Rosie's Angus, is the one that has been running against open and non-winners of 3 and has won at Evangeline 4 for 6
right
at this track, So when I'm looking at that and the odds are bet down, I don't know how this horse was 10-1 and it got no love in the doubles either, but it's getting played in the verticals for sure. Then we look at the exact as the low right now. The low exact is 1-4, which is 8-1, but they're both kind of moving up, if that makes sense, So I don't know if that's exactly the way you'd want to go in this race, but this is a wide open race. I mean, this is one of those where you almost if you're doing like a double and you really love someone in the 7th race, you might do just all in this race and then try to hit a horse in the next race. Let me see, because I really did like a horse. It was interesting. Okay, yeah, and let me see, because to me in the next race, the 2 looks very, very solid versus this crew. I mean, like I would see no problem here if I was, and I may do this personally, to do like a all double. I'm not going to do that because we don't do alls into other races, right. but like almost wheel this field with the 2 and just try to find a horse. But when I can see like 5 different exacta combinations here, and that's a tough, thing because you have to spread so far. This was a really confusing race for me. So I'm just gonna we're not Rex. We're not doing it. I'm doing a daily double, but we're not going from race to race on here. We're focusing on the race at hand here for our people. So yeah, hit the button, Tim. I'm ready. Five to win and place in the 5. I think the 5 is the horse to beat here. That was my number 1 pick, and I think these other horses are all kind of moving up levels where this guy has been running against winners, and these guys are kind of the 1, the 4. I mean, they may be the best, but I think the 5 is a legitimate play, and at 9-2, I think that's extreme value versus this crew. Bobby's got the 2. Dan H into the 7 next as some value. Bob Jackson's top 3 picks are 4, 5, and 7. Good luck, my friend. Tom likes the 5 here. The formula's with us. That's excellent. I just think in this group, 2 will race without blinkers here.
I'll tell you, I love a horse in the neck. So if you're looking at doubles, let me look at the double wheel pays real quickly, the probables.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's the lowest in the doubles.
Yeah. And again, we're not gonna on here. We're not gonna do like cross daily doubles because we don't exact. We're kind of focusing for you guys on the race. Yep. And I think 9-2 is a very good value play here. I could see the 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7. And the exact, and you're not going to wheel, or box 5 horses to try to.
I still say that 2-1 on the 1 is a huge underlay. I cannot play that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Rex has got the 3 win bet. Good luck, Rex. Mike Whitney's going with the Profits. Good luck, my friend. Vince Watson's got a 3-4-7 exact to box. Benny Betts has got a 1-5. The formula's got a 5, 6, 8, 7. Getting on the grass here. Yellow sulfur tea.
There's what I said about the 6 being the speed in this race, and that's why I said if the turf is playing like the dirt, then I love the 6 at this price.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but I thought the 6 was lone speed in here, like I said, and that's what we're seeing right now.
6 is doing their best Eastern Avenue invitation right now.
I mean, it's like run away and hide because I've got this. So
13-1, exactly.
Something to be said about lone speed. So
yeah, absolutely. Without knowing how this turf course plays,
they're closing the gap a little bit here.
Yeah, 48.
But yeah, I mean, has gone pretty comfortably. Has been lone speed, but the pace has not been extremely fast. So
extremely fast. Yeah,
still have a little bit left in the tank here. That 3 is really trying to press.
48 flat. 48. They got the 6 and the 3 trying to press. Our 5 has a lot of work to do here.
A lot.
Down the stretch they come. 6 is just holding on to long speed. 3 coming.
3's going to nip him.
And the 3's going to get him. 3, 6, 4. Yeah, without knowing how it's impossible to try to handicap without
the wizard, the kid, Vicente del Cid.
Yeah, and good job by Rex having the 3 there.
But heck of a race by the 6 there out on front.
Yeah, heck of a race.
13 to 1. I love that 6.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, if you know this track, it's a huge advantage.
Right.
I don't know who these, a lot of these people. Samuel Abreu, they're having a good year. Is 11 for 123. But and a good race indeed.
What a stinker by the 5. Never got a call.
Never got a call. No. Again, I guess if you're in the back, you cannot close on the, But this is where we're trying to go off things we don't really know, and that's a tough.
I just wanted the 6 to hold for my double.
Oh, did you get you got the key box, Kyle? You got the 6? Oh, nice job, bud. Way to go.
Good job.
Way to go, my friend.
At that price, way to go. I'm glad you hit it, Kyle. So at least somebody took advantage of my 6 there.
Yeah, yes. And that's one of those things, Tim. Like, we're all geniuses after the race. I mean, look, there were 5 20 exact combinations you could see coming in there. You know what I'm saying? Zach. With the because if you look, and this is interesting. Let me see here. So the 3's double was $52. Okay, the 1's double was $21. The 7's double was $27. The 4's double was $32. The 3 wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's gonna be a nice try, because the exacta, the 3-6 exacta is paying 140.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's gonna be a wonderful try.
70 to 1, 140
Kyle.
for 2. So good job, Kyle, because with the 4 being there and with the 1 being out of the trifecta, that's going to pay well. Good job.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But I just didn't see any other speed in the race, Sean. Regardless of the fact that we don't know we're not super familiar with the turf at Evangeline, when you handicap the race, there was no other speed.
Yeah, right. No, exactly. Yeah, no, 13 to 1, a gift across if you had the 6,
Yeah, and getting the 1 off the board, way to go.
Yeah,
like I say, $140 exacta, so the trifecta is definitely going to pay well.
Yeah, I could not bet that 1. I just I know it was Thornton. He came in 4th, but I'm saying just the levels he had run at just were not this level,
And which goes back to what I was saying about the 1. That was a huge underlay. I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yep. That's why I threw him out. I tossed him.
Good job, Kyle. Got the exacta and the try.
Wow, Kyle. Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic.
You can buy me a beer, Kyle.
There you go.
Yeah, Rob, we were talking about that. We thought the 1 was a huge underlay at 6 to 5. We just didn't see that at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Rob. Yeah, we thought the 5 would run better, Rob, but again, and you would know this better, Rob. I guess has the front of the turf course has that been better to where because that 6 ran a huge race on the as lone speed. That was a huge effort, almost wire to wire. And Tim loved them at 13-1.
Yeah, I was in love with the 6 based on just your typical lone speed angle, right?
Yeah,
I
that
just
was
thought
a great
the 6
effort
was
in
lone
defeat.
speeds.
With the 3, great win getting up there. And some of our people had it. Samuel Breu, if I'm saying Breu. Yeah.
Scott, I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah. Exactly. Great job, Kyle. Yeah, no, I agree, Rob. There's been some interesting favorites tonight for sure.
Yeah, and look, there was nothing wrong with the 1 being the favorite in that race, but not 6-5. You know,
Yeah.
if the 1 and the 5 and the 4 were all a lot closer in odds, that would make a lot more sense to me. But
Yeah.
6-5, I just didn't see that.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it either. Yeah, that was. We've been close. We just the 5 just didn't. Yeah, and again that's not knowing the turf course. I'm sure if we, but the 6 ran a huge race there. Looks like a very nice turf course though.
The turf looks nice there.
Yeah, looks real nice.
Talk about turf though. I've got to say this because we hear all the talk about turf courses around the country and some more than others and some of the things going on. But let me say this. Sean and I were at Keeneland on Sunday when it was pouring down rain after it had been pouring down rain for multiple days. And the track in the beginning was at least all day Sunday. And in the beginning of Monday was a sloppy, muddy mess.
Yep.
And the turf course, I mean, it looked super green and nice, but it was hard to tell just looking from the apron what the turf course looked like.
Yeah.
But then on Monday, we go out there, we get a nice day. The turf started good. After days and days of rain, the turf started good. They only kept 1 race on because they had a nice route race that's part of a series, and they had to kind of run the Lafayette there. So it made sense to keep that race on the turf. But I'm telling you, those horses were running around. There was no kick up. There was no muddy. It just, that turf is absolutely incredible. And by the end of the day, the turf was firm and the track was fast. And just kudos and hats off to the maintenance crew at Keeneland.
Oh, it's
for
amazing.
the incredible job they do.
Yep.
And let me just say that those tracks, since they redid the dirt and went back from synthetic to dirt, the drainage system at there has to be world class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, the amount of water that track took to turn around in 1 day and be fast. And just like overnight last night, we started off today, and it was like today they started off and the track was muddy. And by the last race, it was fast again. It was just incredible. No, if you're parking on the hill, Malachi, Sean and I were talking about it. There is no drainage system on the hill.
Not at all. Yep.
Because Sean and I were like, half of these cars are going to get stuck in the mud.
Exactly. That is one thing. Exactly. It's very true. I have never parked on the hill, so I don't know exactly what that experience is, but I can only imagine with that water. That must have been exactly crazy, Malafat. Absolutely.
Good job, Kyle.
Yeah, and kudos to our friends, the Ammermans, for winning the Transylvania with test score. And I think the jockeys at Keeneland might ban Manny Franco from coming back down, because when Manny's coming down to these tracks right now, he's stealing a lot of people's money.
Taking everybody's lunch money.
Here's at Gulfstream, he did it, and then he came down to Keeneland with test score. He's he's in colloquial. He's coming down and stealing some money. And fantastic news, by the way. Junior jockey is going to be officially back on April 16th. He's already back up on horses. He came back yesterday at Keeneland. Should be, I think, April 16th is the date that he will be actually doing mounts again, which means that Sovereignty has his friend back. So Junior jockey will be on Sovereignty in the Derby.
Sean, changing gears for a second and looking to the 7th race here at Evangeline, I just have to express my disappointment in this race because I don't get to see Unojo.
Oh, I know Unojo. Oh, is that the one?
He was in this race and he scratched out. So I was hoping to see him race.
Oh man, we won on him with big money when he won the stakes race. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping to see him too. But see here again. Here's a great thing right here where you have some nice optional allowance claiming races at Evangeline that they're worth. You know, Unojo is in here, and for anyone who remembers Unojo, that guy, he was scratched out of this race. Stakes winner. 10 minutes to post. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But definitely a big Oaklawn fan because he only had one eye. That's what they call him, Unojo. But we still have a field of 7 here running in this race. And this is an interesting race. Yeah, Todd, is Todd betting Todd Chero? How can Todd not bet Todd Chero? It's his horse. Exactly, but yeah. And that's not for me. I'm not betting Todd Chero. Exactly. How can Todd not bet Todd Chero? Exactly. So this was an interesting race, and I was all over the 2 Todd Chero. I think this horse ran in Sam Houston, and a lot of people don't get to see the races at Sam Houston because of the TV stuff, and so they don't get to see those races. But those optional 50 non-winners of 2 there down there are pretty darn good races, and 21 and change and Capuna, who is losing to are some very strong horses. If you look at the last time he ran at Delta Downs, ran an allowance 44,000 and carried the speed. What is this track doing tonight? It's carrying speed. So I think this too is going to be ultra tough with EJ Barrera here for Jade Gellner, who is already 3 for 4 on the money and clearly placing their horses right. I think this 2 goes out, and I don't think anybody catches him down the lane. But if anyone does, it could be the 3 tape to tape. Abel Ramirez and Tim Thornton, who's off to an amazing start. This horse ran a 94 buyer last time, and if he runs anywhere near that figure, including he won the Samstown at Delta Downs. So these 2 either will hook up in a duel or they'll just be 1-2 and just go the whole way. So I was 2, 3, and then my upset pick for maybe getting in round into thing was the 5 Lagoon. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at the horses really quickly, but you talked about if anybody beats him, it'll be the 3. I think the 3 beats him.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because of the way the track's playing. And when you look at the track, I mean, we've talked about speed, and to me, the 3 is faster. To answer your question about thought. So the 3 to me, when you look at the fact that at the distance, The 3 has gone 5 furlongs 5 times and has 2 wins and a third.
Yeah.
At the distance, the 2 has been in 3 races and doesn't have a win. And when you look at the speed of the 2, it's in longer races. So in longer races, 6, 7, the quarter times are obviously going to be slower. This horse, if you look at some of those Lone Stars, the fractions were 21, and this horse is on the lead. When the fractions are 21, 22, let's go to the Sam Houston 5 furlong to where they were 21 for the 2. This horse was 3 lengths back. So to me, I think the 3 is this definitely speed of the speed in here. This is a horse getting out. Timmy Thornton on board, coming from an allowance class race. Yes, has a little bit of a layoff, but the thing is, you don't have to be in necessarily race shape to run a 5.5 furlong race, right? You don't have to necessarily be fully fit. You just have to be rounding into form, right? And so it only takes a little bit of workouts to get a horse to the ability to be able to run a 5.5 furlong back. It's not like coming back and running a 2-turn race.
Yeah.
So and I just think that the 3 is faster. I really do, especially given the fact that the 3 has had much success at the distance. So I like the 3 a lot in here. The 2 is obviously going to be right there. The 7, which makes it really chalky. That's Del Cid getting on board that horse. So hard to look at that horse and think that he's not going to be a part as well. So it's if I add one more, it's the 2 that you were talking about. And another one that is going to be close to the pace, just off the pace. And that's where you want to be. I mean, that's what we're seeing is that's where you want to be on this track tonight. So it looks like if I'm putting 3 over the 2 and the 7 is pretty much where I see it as far as a speed perspective. So really hard to go beyond those. I think everybody else is going to be a little further back yet. The 4 has shown some races to where has a little bit of speed up front, but at the distance hasn't been as good. I just think he's going to be too little, too late coming for the underneath position. But I don't like the price at all on the 3-2, but I definitely think that he's the clear favorite in here.
Yep. Tom, Foreman's got 4, 3, 2, 6. Bob Jackson's top 3 picks are 2, 4, 5. Todd, there 3 has a lot of tape on him. Malenthot is 3 with the 2, 4 key box.
The thing about the 4 to me, Sean, though, and here's the thing, is that when you look at the 4, he has shown some early speed, but look at every race that he's run.
Yeah.
Who rode him?
Yeah. And then who's right? Yeah.
So Timmy Thornton's ridden this horse in every race, yet he gets off of this one to go to the 3. That's all I need to see.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Tonight, if you've gone with the Tim Thornton, went to the other horse thing, you've not done very well. So it's interesting in terms of but I do agree in a race like this, you're absolutely right. That is a major factor.
It really is. I mean, he's been on that horse every race.
Yeah.
Across multiple tracks, Delta Downs, Fairgrounds, and yet now he finds himself on the 3.
Yeah. No doubt. And he could have been on the 4, but didn't ride him. Yep. Exactly. Yep.
So if you're looking at the will pays, the double will pay is for the 3 is 40, and these are for 2. The 2 is 41.20, so pretty close. The pick 3 to the 3 is 116, and to the 2 is 120. So it's 3-2. The 4 is quite a ways back, from 40 to 70 in the double, and from 116 to 169 in the pick 3.
Yeah. Hey, Irene, how are you? Hey, don't worry about it, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. Next week, we may be doing Evangeline again, my friend, because
Yeah, we got 2 more weeks.
Yeah, 2 more weeks before Woodbine starts. So we will be. James White's got a tri-key 1 over the 2357 daily double 1 all. Good luck, my friend. Mal thought said the 7 is coming from claim race. I think Del Cid is making price overlay. Toss is top class 2-3. Bobby D's got exact a 3-2 with 7-4 win on the 2. Todd's got 1 to show, $5 to show on the 1, 4 also to show. We got 1 minute to post. They're heading towards the.
Oh, wow. That quick. Lost track of time.
Mike Witten's got a $1 exact, a straight 3 all.
Sean, this is not sexy, so I'm just gonna we're gonna save some money for the last race and try to hit something here together, and then we're just gonna play a $5 exacta 3-2.
Yep. Yeah, Jonathan, we did. We both made it to Keeneland. Yep. Yep. Sunday and Monday, we were both there. Thank you, sir. Neither one of us was able to stick around for Tuesday's Bluegrass, sadly, but still a good card was had by all. One more race to go here. Thank you to everybody, as always, for who has joined us tonight. 161 strong. Thank you so much. Tums, we cannot show the race because we don't have permission for it. But if you have like FanDuel, if you have Twin Spires, if you have New York Bets, Naira Bets, if you have anything, you can see that. Evangeline might also have a check. Evangeline Downs may have on their like a streaming thing on their website where you can. We can. We can. We always tell how the race is going as it's going. So we do that every race for you. But you can also check their website too.
We're definitely not the race callers that
our buddy Rob Toole is. No,
Rob is for sure, but
Rob is quite the caller. One of my favorites. Does Il Salfati perfectly. Nobody better. Nobody better. And he gave us a winner tonight. So his job as ambassador for Evangeline is done. 5-2 cold winner.
all right, we're loading up. The 1 goes in. 17-1. The 2 is loaded up. 4-1. Here goes your post-time favorite, the 3 at even money. He's just lucky. Goes in the gate at 6-1. Lagoon, the 5, 15-1. Captivating Boy, number 7, is 3-1. And last load is Lori's Wish, 23-1, longest shot on the board. They're all in the gate. Starter's got the button. Here we go.
Il Salfati.
Even start, and just as expected, there goes the 3. The 3 does have the speed just outside that one. Half a length back is the 7. The 8 horse is another half length back in third. Down inside in fourth is the 2 horse. The 4 is currently sitting outside in fifth. The 1 down on the rail, and the 5 currently trails the field. The quarter 21 and 3. Tape to tape is up front, nose to nose with Captivating Boy just outside that one. It's another 2 lengths back to Lori's Wish in third. Coming just outside that one is He's Just Lucky. Down on the inside, the 2, as we hit the top of the stretch, it's the 3 and the 7. Right now, the 3.
Come on, 2, come up that rail.
Is really pulling away right here. Looks to be much.
Come on, 2, get up that rail for him.
3,
get
2.
up that rail for him. Come on, 2.
3, 2. Run away, 2.
Get up that rail.
That horse is
Get up that
closing.
rail,
Get
2.
up there, 2.
Get up that rail, 2.
Hold
Get
on,
up there,
2.
2.
Hold on, 2.
Get up there,
Hold
2.
on, 2.
3-2. Right?
I think it's 3-2, but it's close. 3-2-4.
Yeah, let's see we'll have to see the replay there. I'll have to see the replay, but I think he just held on.
If he did, I've got the exacta and the try.
Yes. I think he just holds on. That 4 was close, though.
It was close, but I think he got him. But that 3 was much the best.
Much the best. 2-1. Quite the price. Let's see here. 4's got momentum. 2's got momentum. I think we held on.
I do too. Speed.
Yeah.
That's the first time we handicapped it looking at it that way. And
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're not going to get out and have the speed.
I wish they had the close-up photo there with, like, at the line,
I still think he held on.
Let's see here. Just slowing it down for us.
I mean, the 4 is definitely closing.
I think
I think he got the bob.
Yeah, I think he did too. But you can't see from the side. That's the problem. As we all patiently wait. Definitely the 3.
We should have went a little heavier than $5. We got plenty left with 1 race left. Come on, 2. Pull set 2.
Yeah, most did too.
Don't do it to us, Rob.
Inquiring minds want to know. You think it'd be a dead heat?
It might be that close. I thought
Yeah.
the 2.
I thought the 2 got it, but that's a side angle.
It's
That's
hard
the
to tell where
problem.
the line is. I'm not familiar with their line versus.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, that's my problem with the side.
Put up that 3-2. Let's go. Yeah, when it takes this long, it's normally pretty close.
Yeah, normally
We
dead
might
heat.
have a dead heat for sure. And
Yeah, that would sting, but
yeah.
better than 3-4.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying about the 4 being on top is I just thought that the 4 was good, but was definitely going to be closing. I just didn't see anybody beating the 3 here. Come on with this 3-2.
Maybe we're having a tote delay.
Taking a long time, Sean.
Yeah.
Guys in a dark room right now trying to develop the film.
Yep.
Half of our audience doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Dark room and film. What is that?
Exactly.
3, 2, 4.
3-2-4. It may okay. The 3-2. All right, Tim. Love it. Wow, that was sweating.
All right, we'll take it. Exact and try.
Beautiful. Only winners. Love it. And what is our exacted pay? $18. Nice.
So we got it for 5.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It's official. Rex, we're glad the stewards had the 2. We'll take it.
Whatever helps. Exactly. Whatever helps. Exactly.
A $1 exact at $9.10. So we got $45.50.
Yeah. Sure Bet got the try. Great job, Sure Bet. Tim got the try. Thank you, Dan.
And Sean, that gives you $82.50 for the last race.
Love it. Love it. There we go. Here we go. Perfect. Perfect.
Milo thought Evangeline just paid my Keeneland debt off. Yeah, that was a good hit for me as well because I had the exacta for 10 and the try, so that was 91 and 78.40 is what I just got.
Not bad at all. The lounge is back in business. Yes, it is.
Puts me up for the day.
That's because exactly. And good job, Todd, getting up for second. Your namesake getting up there for second. Good job. Maybe 2 races.
2 races.
And that leaves us with 1 race to go.
Sean, before we do that real quick, I'm going to get a quick refill and I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So, all right. So we're right back in the game here, which is great. Oh, keep the try. Oh, there you go. Nice job. Kyle is just taking some Evangeline money tonight. There's going to be no money left in the money room because Kyle is taking it home with them all. Great job, Kyle. We love to see that. Sure Bet Coffee, fantastic trifecta. Love it. Oh, Todd, you should have just keyed your name. No. Exactly. But the 8th race is the final race. 5 furlongs. Maiden stake 10,000 per 16,000 for accredited Louisiana bred maidens, 3-year-olds, and a full field again. We love this. Mr. Rob Toole, thank you to for your awesome calls, but also the fields have been huge. And we have nobody out of the last race. So that is fantastic. A full field. I think Mike is going to put all his money that he has left on Del Cid. Okay, good. There you go, Sherbet. Hey, all you need is one more, and you'll be right there, my friend. But we have, and let me see here. We have 14 minutes to post. We got Jansen here. We got right now the favorite. I mean, folks, if this is the 15-1 morning line right now is the favorite at 4-1. I know it's low money right now because it's early, but the 15-1 right now is the favorite at 4-1. And the 3-1 morning line is at 9-2 right now. The 6 about the business 9-2 is 10-1. The 9 Scootin' Boots for Carol Castilla and Timmy Thornton is at 9-2. So we got a wide open race here going on here. The formula like 6-4-1-9 for everybody who's looking there. Yeah, exactly. Got a great experiences. Yeah, there you go, Tim. Tim's back. Now, Tim, how does one lose their bets, right? When your namesake is in second place with the with the favorite.
What were you thinking, Todd? What were you thinking?
Exactly. Not no faith in Todd. Exactly. But so the 8th race, Tim, coming up here, and I'll read the conditions. Maiden 10,000 per 16,000 for accredited Louisiana breds, 3-year-olds. And we have a full field of Rick Johnson's back in the saddle again. And the 8, 9, 10. We got a full field of 12 here, Tim. Trying to bring us home. Very interesting race here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what's really interesting, Sean, is that obviously we got a field full of maidens here, so we don't have a lot of race experience, and the other thing that we don't have is a lot of horses who have shown any early speed. So I'm going to go to the one who has.
Yeah.
The 11, Jonas Grumby.
Yeah.
So Jonas Grumby has shown some early speed, is getting a 5-pound weight break here, with the apprentice in here. If you look, this horse has been racing at fairgrounds. Last race out went 5.5 cut on the cutback in that race, showed some early speed and then kind of faded late in that race. Now we're cutting back to 5 furlongs in here against other maidens. And look, I get it. The speed figures in there were not good. And you look at that, but it says something to be on the lead. So right now, early speed is something. So this is a one horse who has shown that he can be out there a little bit. So I think the 11 has to be a part. After that one, the 4 is going to be a little further back, but I think it's actually the 6. The 6 is a horse that I think is going to potentially sit just off the pace. This one may, Sean, decide to go ahead and go to the lead. Has been just off the pace early on in that last race, but kind of held towards the end and then faded late. But it may end up being based on this race and not having a lot of other speed in here be the one that goes out and kind of holds on. And then the 4 is the one who I think sits just behind the early pace and is probably going to be right there. 4 and 6 seem more logical to me. I think the 6 over the 4 is the way that I would play it. I would play it 6-4, but I do want to throw the 11 in the mix because the 11 is the one. If you look at the last race, yes, overall, not a great race when you look at it. But here's the thing, Sean, with this horse, they thought enough of this horse to start off at a maiden special weight early on at Louisiana Downs and then go to the fairgrounds and a maiden special weight. This horse ran in the Louisiana Futurity, even though the horse was beaten well in that race by Smokin' Wicked. We saw a horse earlier tonight that came out of that race and did really well. So this horse could move forward in this race. So has been dropping in the last couple at fairgrounds, and now this is not that fairgrounds field. And you do have a couple others in here who have been at the fairgrounds, so that's something to consider. But I would think the 11 shows early pace, may not hold on like some of the others we've seen, but based on the fact that the speed is holding on the track, could make the horse be able to continue to hold on for an underneath piece.
Yes.
But I still think the 6 is the best. So I would play 6 with 4 and 11 as a key. 6, 11, 4, 6, 4, 11, but key in the 6 over the 4 and 11.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. And this is an interesting race. Rodney's got the 2, 4, 6 exactly to close out, so he's right with you. Todd, who was running into cement walls earlier, this is okay. Hold on a second here, Todd. Down to my last bet of the night, a 4-4 daily double. This is the last race. And Todd, there's no 9th race. I don't know what the 4 is in. Is that at Woodbine Mohawk?
And the 4 didn't win the last one, so I don't know what we're talking about here.
I thought it was interesting.
So is it okay? There we go. Yeah, the format and Tim are very close together here. Yeah. And so we got Evangeline Downs coming up here. Thank you again to everybody for tuning in tonight. So appreciate it.
Yeah, this has been fun getting back at it. Obviously, a week off last week with everything going into Keeneland for the weekend, and Turfway having ended. But we'll get a couple weeks at this track, so we'll take this all the stuff that we're figuring out tonight, and we'll use this next week as well as we come back here to Evangeline Downs next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So exactly. So we got and Tim, who are your top 3? Oh, let me. I read the.
Yeah, I'm going to put the 6 on top. I do think the 11 is going to be the speed, but it hasn't shown enough to me to hold on against some of these. So 6, 4, and 11 is the way that I would call it. But I think the 11, based on the early speed, could hold on for a piece. One thing that I don't really see is I know Del Cid is getting up on this 2 horse. I don't see enough out of this 2 to think that this 2 is a factor. And the 2 being 5-2 off a 15-1 morning line as the favorite, they can have every bit of that they want. And you can look at their, the fact that the first race was a maiden special weight, but in the last one it was a maiden 20, and this horse was so far back in a 10-horse field that I just don't see anything that makes me think this horse moves forward enough to be a factor here.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So so I'm on the stands here. It'll be interesting to see how the exactas are playing. Let me see what his picks. Does he have his picks up there yet?
Yeah, I mean, this 11, Sean, just to mention this again, that last 5.5 furlong at Fairgrounds, this horse was on the lead in 22.47 fractions. And I mean, that's if you look at the rest of this field, anybody who was close to a 22:47 was a little bit further back. The 6 was just a length off of those kind of fractions in the last race, but that's why I think the 11 is clearly the speed in here based on that. But I like the 6 a lot on top, and I think right now we're getting 10-1 off a 9-2 morning line. That's a gift.
Yeah.
I just don't get the 2 being 2-1. I mean, maybe they know, Sean. Maybe they know.
Yeah.
I've got the 2, maybe 5th.
Yeah. I love a horse in this race.
None of the ones I've mentioned.
No, one of them that you did mention. He won the first race, right? But Jansen won the first race, G Money Jr., right? On the 4.
Yeah.
I like the fact that this horse ran against Final Half at Fairgrounds, right? He did close. I mean, he was a step slow, and I actually watched this replay. He was brushed pretty severely and lost a lot of momentum, but still chased inside. He did not give up, And I think the 11's interesting. I think the 6 is interesting. But I think if Jansen, can do just like he did in the first race, which is kind of sit like 3-4 lengths, because Jansen's an excellent gate rider. If he can just get this horse kind of sitting 3-4 lengths off the pace, I think this horse can really finish strong versus this group. And 7-2, I think that's a real value in this race. Mike Whitten's got, $17.50. He's got 8 to place and show on the 2, $16. Mel thought I have a shoddy 6-9 box 5 exact and 2 on several long shots. Tim betting against Dill Sid, huge mistake.
It wouldn't be the first time tonight that betting against him has paid off.
Yeah. 77% first time starting for Dad. There you go. Rodney said, can't wait for ASD and Woodbine to start. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. All right, Tim. Hit the button. I'm just going 10 to win in place on the 4. Higher charge. I think Jansen does exactly what he did in the first race. I love the way this race sets up for him. I watched that replay from Fairgrounds, and he got brushed pretty darn badly, but kept fighting. I like that. I think Jansen can put him a little bit closer. If the 11 does go out with the 6 and a couple other people get a little bit contested, if Jansen can just sit 4 lengths off it and come with a big run, I think he can outkick them down the stretch. I think he's closer at the Fairgrounds race if he doesn't get brushed. I don't think he'll be as back as he was in that race. I want an exact replay of how he won the first race with the same thing there. Good luck to everybody. As we thank you again to Rob for joining us throughout the night. Look forward to being back with you, my friend, next week.
We will definitely be back next week.
Put a great product out and look at the fields. Man, if you're better, how can you not like 10, 12 horse fields?
Definitely love that.
Just called Vincente. He said, put my 401k on him in this race. Get ready to retire. Oh, there you go.
Love to see it. Love to see it. See it.
Is there another race that I don't know about?
No, what?
This is likes the 9 and the 6 next in the oh and then exact key box. Okay, I got it. I thought it was the next race. Marv has got a tri key box 11 with the 5, 6, 12. Good luck, Marv. Thank you as always for joining us. Curtis Dennett's got the tri key 9, first and second with 2, 4, 7, 11, 12. We're beginning to head to the gate here.
And the 4-horse has dropped down to the 5-2 favorite, Sean.
Yep. If Jansen just do exactly what he did in the race 1, it will be very tough to, I think down the stretch, it'll be very tough to get here. How did you watch that race at Fairgrounds? They're getting towards the starting gate. It's a long walk to the starting gate. Horse on his toes. You like to see that?
I can't believe this 2 is a 5-2 favorite off a 15-1 morning line.
I know, yeah.
Now your 4 is a 5-2 favorite. The 2 is still 5-2. 4 has a little bit more money. That makes a lot more sense. Although I'm kind of with Malathod. I hate really low odd favorites in maiden races.
Yeah, yeah.
I love this 6 at 6-1. The six horse here is the value for sure. The 10's going to load without the jockey. Doesn't want to go in. There he goes. And there goes the jockey. The 11's like, here's how you do it. Let's see Jonas Grumby come out of the gate. Get that 11 out from the outside. One more to load. Lucky Bourbon. Lucky Bourbon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you were watching the screen, you saw the guy leading the horse into the gate just got pulled way back as the 12 balked a little bit. Lucky Bourbon is not Buffalo Trace. If you have seen the photos of the flood.
He's going to get his starter.
Starter's got to take his spot, find his button, give it a push, and away we go. And from the outside, the 8 got left at the gate. Down inside, the 1 is going to show early speed. Just outside that one is the 2 and the 5. The 11
did not get out of the gate.
Here comes the speed on the 11. The 8 definitely did not get out. The 4 is way back.
Way back.
Way back. But up front right now, Lucky Bourbon at 99-1.
Look at this.
Put the nose in front. I don't think that's a 12, is it? Is that really the 12?
It is 12 and the 1. 12 and the 1 right now.
The 12's further back. That's the 11.
That's 11? Oh.
But down on the inside, here come the 6 and the 2. The 1 still got the lead right now, but that's the
Look
11.
at the 4. Look at the 4.
Never a call.
Never a call. I mean,
6 and 2.
I mean, this is just it's either you get your horse gets out or you have no chance. You know.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like the 4.
But who liked the 1? I mean,
no, I definitely didn't see. I mean, the 1 did show speed in the last time getting out of the gate,
but the 4 should have been up further.
Front. That was in a mile race, and the fractions are obviously a lot slower in a mile race. So I didn't expect that one to get out front, but that was not the 12. That was the 11.
That was the 11. Okay.
That was the 11 on the lead up there. I don't know why they had the 12 up, but it was definitely the 11 that was up there. The 12 is further back. You can see in the picture.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the 11 that was up there. And then just as we thought, had the early speed, but couldn't hang on. The 6 and 2 were both coming late, but we're never going to get to the 1. And here comes the 4 up the rail. Too little, too late, way far back, but.
Oh, 4 got crushed out of the gate.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. That's why the 4 was so back. The 5 crushed them.
Just point out Todd here took a 1-all.
Nice job, Todd.
19-1.
Well, now we know why the 4 was so back, because the 5 absolutely just crunched them.
Yeah. And I love that the 6 at 4-1 gets up for second and over the 2 horse, who ended up being your 2-1 favorite.
Yeah. You have everything about mom and dad.
Then it was 9-4 and 11.
Good job, Todd. Corral Richards, owned and trained. Aubrey Green. Oh, and there's my girl Aubrey Green. Oh, that's Angel. Oh my! I didn't even see that. This is there. That's Aubrey. She's a fabulous speed rider. We had Angel earlier and Aubrey tonight. Yeah, the starting guy was loading horses. He does multiple things. Well, now we know what happened to our 4. He got crunched by the 5.
Todd, I don't know how much you played that for, but the $2.16 exact is paying $253.60.
Wow. Great job, Todd. Whew. Well done. Rick, no foul. It's official. Malathott's new strategy worked. Good job, Malathot. Yeah, he bet a win on like the 5 long shots. Well done.
Mike Whitten just lost his 401k as if the market didn't do enough to it today. He had $4 left and just lost it on Del Cid.
Carolina Moon. Oh, did Carolina Moon have the one? Oh, that'd be awesome if he did. Hold on, Carolina may have had it. Let's see. Great job if you did. I did not see that.
Oh, you were definitely the big winner tonight with that exact end try.
Oh, Kyle, you were amazing tonight, my friend. You were the star of the show. Carolina. Let's see here.
Sean, race 7 coming up at Chucktown.
There she is. There's the queen of the swamp, Aubrey Green. 41.40, $16, $8.20. Wow. Unbelievable. Crazy.
Craziness.
Good job, Todd. That is amazing. Very good. Well, we enjoyed our first week here at Evangeline Downs. Yeah. Carolina, thank you, my friend. Good luck. Good job. And great hit, Carolina. But there you go. Good job, Mel. That sure bet had both the 1 and 2 underneath. Oh, no. Sure bet has been there all right, just the wrong keys. Oh, very good, very good. Mike Whitten, I did lose money, but the market lost. Okay, so you're still a winner. Excellent. Kyle had a huge night. Todd, thank you. Malafat, Rick, going through the formula for joining us in the chat. Kyle, Rex, thank you. Good win on the 3 there. Dan H, always a pleasure. Thank you, sir. Curtis Stinnett, thank you. Marv. You got Danny, everybody who joined us tonight, 153 strong, still at the end. We thank you so much. And
Mike, if you lost too much money tonight, I got a few of these for you.
This is a Schrute buck.
Yes, absolutely. So, very good. Very good. Well, great to be back with you all. Have a great weekend. Some great racing, more racing at Keeneland. We're now the last technical Derby prep. The Lexington will be this weekend at Keeneland, along with some excellent races. But Bobby D, thank you so much, my man. But everyone have a great weekend. Be safe. Everybody in Kentucky, God bless. And we will see you next week.
See you.